video game.
It's
Sorry,
called.
someone's on my TV. I was like, what the heck? Video game high school.
Oh yeah, and we're live. Hi everybody, welcome to Xbox Ultimate Podcast, episode number 94. Thank you for all
Are we
tuning
actually
in.
live?
Yeah, we're live. We'll just pick up on the conversation. What's video game high school? A 3-bit.
So, video game high school is it's a show.
Is it an anime?
From this guy? It's not an anime. It's
Oh, Freddie. Okay, Freddie Wong's thing. I know what you're
Freddie
talking about.
Wong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a big fan of Freddie Wong back in the day. He had a channel called Rocket Jump.
Yeah, he made the really cool.
It does look very.
And then the Epic Mealtime dude was the principal in that show.
Is he the one that made that Splinter Cell spoof with shooting the light bulbs?
I think, yeah, he did a lot of video games.
Yeah,
so maybe.
Yeah,
he did one where like shoot like flowers or something at people instead of like bullets. I think.
Yeah.
I used to. Those videos are like they back a long time. It was really cool. Anyway,
one day I just bought a bunch of their merch. But hello.
Sweet. Yeah, we are live, and again, like I said before, this is episode number 94 of Xbox Ultimate Podcast. It's Friday night, and we're gonna have a lot of stuff. There's not a lot of like news because we got a crap ton in a few weeks, but there's some really cool stuff that we're gonna dive into today. There's an article kind of regarding like the future of Xbox technology and where it's headed and stuff. We're gonna let 3-bit and Psycho geek out on that for a little while. Jasper might even have some input and Fuzzy too. This stuff is like, it's cool to me, but some of the tech stuff goes way over my head. So, but we're gonna have fun talking about that. And also, we got to look at this lineup, all the October games and the November games and stuff coming. Looks like Xbox's holiday is not as shabby as we thought it was before. It looks like we're gonna have plenty of stuff to play in 2022. Still no huge first party game, but we're gonna have that onslaught in early 2023 as well. So we're gonna get into some of the stuff that we're looking for 2022. Kate is on her way. Pong cannot be here today because he's got some personal stuff going on. We are still sending our best thoughts towards Lupa as well. So shout out to Lupa, and I hope you're doing okay. We have not had any updates as of yet as to if she's undergone her procedure and how that went or anything like that. So we're still holding out hope for the best possible outcomes on that. But let's get into some intros here for the panel. We have the always fuzzy Belvedere. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Oh man, finally got my Steam Deck to, play some Game Pass games, and went through that the hard way without a keyboard.
Yeah,
got a little frustrated, but I'm like, I'm not smashing this thing. I will wind up crying afterwards if I do. But
what have you played so far with that?
I've played a few games. I've gotten Flight Sim. I'm currently diddling with Forza Horizon 5 in the background.
Nice.
Played a little bit of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Trek to Yomi. Like, this is exactly what I got this thing for.
Is it working how you would hope? Like internet connection solid and stuff like that, or?
At least in the house, yes. Only because I have a decent setup here, but I
only play it cloud with that, or can you download the Game Pass games on that?
I haven't tried downloading the Game Pass game just yet. I'm hoping I can figure it out, and I think that's something that will be possible. But I haven't dug into like the control panel or the kernel or any of that stuff yet, where it looks like you can put stuff in certain temporary folders so it can call back to it. I'm not ready for all that yet because I'm afraid I'm going to screw something up. So,
yeah. But I wish you could just like install Game Pass. You know what I mean? Just like hit the button, install, and that make it real easy, right? Like I don't know, but hey,
hopefully, some points in the near future.
I think that'll happen eventually because they're kind of like working with each other right now on some things. 3-bit is here today, gracing us with his presence on Ultimate. It's been a little while, dude. What's up, man?
Yeah, it's been a while. How are you guys?
Pretty good.
No, I'm doing good. Doing good. Yeah. So this week I've been taking a little bit break from work. Finish some cool things here and there, and a lot of games. I've been gaming a lot.
Yeah.
Recently, the Quarry. That's been really fun. It's sort of like Until Dawn if you guys like those games. So I've been playing that and just been doing some stuff. It's good to be here.
Cool. Right on, man. Good to have you here, 3-bit. We got the mellow.
I see you matching my blue.
We are my hat. I need to get some new clothes. I've been wearing the same hat ever since like started the channel, I think.
Yeah,
I don't care about clothes. I just like get something randomly, like when something like, oh, I only have 3 shirts. I better buy something. You know, that's kind of how I go about it.
Yeah.
Psycho, cool, what's up, man? How's it going?
Good. How are you guys? I've been playing the shit out of Naraka.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Fall Guys too. You even got the Fall Guys Battle Pass.
Shh, you're not supposed to talk about that.
I had to get that in there.
About. No, that was your wife.
No, she did.
No, I did. I'm sorry. It's dude. Okay, she kind of convinced me into it.
Like, so, isn't it
the Battle Pass?
Like,
it's free to play.
Cosmetics. It's for cosmetics, but it's like in that game, it's like you almost have to because everyone looks the same, and it's like that damn mofo. Not mofo. Whatever
FOMO.
it is. FOMO. Thank you. Mofo. Sorry.
I have mofo.
I was a mofo with that motherfucker. But no, I was playing that, and I played a little bit of Fallout 4 today. So that's what I've been doing pretty much between that, Naraka, and some Fallout. So,
right on.
So other than being on RDX on Tuesday, I was there.
Oh yeah,
well.
Yeah, man, cool, dude.
I know 3-bit's like, hey, you're on RDX. I'm like, yeah, brother. I know.
Yeah, I was just randomly watching you. I was like, what the heck? What are you doing?
Is that Psychonauts' voice?
Is that Psycho?
Yeah.
I'm like hearing things. Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good show.
Jasper's had about the quickest recovery from COVID, I think, as we've seen. Because
it ain't done.
It's not done, but it seems like, okay, so yesterday he was like, his muscles were hurting. You could hear it in his voice. He's like, he was losing at Fall Guys. Like he was like falling behind me, you know. Like today, he's like, I'm asking, hey, how you feeling? Said a little bit better. I'm like, okay, right on, dude. But he is still here with COVID again.
Yeah, right now I think I got a fever because I'm kind of sweating, but it's all right.
Jeez, dude.
Just don't let Mav tell you to turn off your fan.
Yeah. No, your fan is like, what I should have told you to do, Psycho, is turn down your noise gate or something. There's got to be you got to figure out there's something with your headset where it allows every sound to come through in your environment.
Oh, probably.
Yeah. Whether it's your bed creaking or your fan blowing or you breathing, are you eating chips? Or
I don't eat chips. I was eating watermelon earlier. I love watermelon.
Do you eat that? Do you eat watermelon with your headset on?
Yeah, the other day too. I was eating the fuck out of it, bro. I was like, dude.
I just didn't know what it was. I didn't want to ask.
It's refreshing and it helps with hunger.
Most food does help with hunger.
There you go.
That's a unique trait for watermelon, everybody. Did you know that if you eat watermelon, it helps with hunger?
It's also good for hydration because it's mostly water.
Yeah. But hey, don't forget, don't ever put out fire in space because it's cold.
Oh, no.
You guys, okay. All right. You guys give me shit about this all the time. It's halfway true, okay? Maybe. So anyway, yeah, I did say something stupid once on a stream that I'll probably never let live down. Once on a stream. Yeah. I didn't take physics. I don't know. I didn't take space class.
4th grade science?
I didn't go to NASA. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not a psychonaut either.
Yeah, well, I can get you there. It doesn't cost very much.
Oh, pause. Hey, I don't know if I want that.
You're talking about watermelons, man. Just watermelon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
watermelon flavored.
Now I know what to do to handle my hunger.
Yeah.
Must be a watermelon.
Have some watermelon.
Yeah.
If it's not watermelon, it doesn't work.
It quenches you and it fills you up.
I don't like watermelons though.
Well, then we have a problem.
What's wrong with water? It's just water, basically.
It tastes like dirty water to me, dude. I don't know, man. Like here, I like the flavor of like watermelon candy. You know, like watermelon starburst and stuff. Maybe I think Texas watermelons just suck ass. I don't know what it is, man. Like in order for it to even be edible, I got to put salt on it to bring out the flavor. Yeah, that's the thing.
Mhm.
I've heard of people doing that for like cantaloupe and stuff.
No, I've heard people put salt on it.
Put salt on your watermelon. It does not taste salty. It tastes more like watermelon.
What's the point then?
Because it makes it actually taste like something.
The salt it accentuates the sweetness in the watermelon or cantaloupe.
It brings out the flavor of the watermelon.
But
that's basically like you get like a really, really good for you like vegetable or fruit or something, and then you're just like, let me just put a bunch of crap on it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't eat watermelon.
Well, it sounds like you have like really shitty watermelon because watermelon is sweet. A good watermelon is sweet tasting, and it doesn't taste dirty. It tastes clean. So if yours is tasting dirty, it's that Texas oil that's seeping into the watermelons or something. I don't know.
I don't know what it is. I just never had a good tasting watermelon without trying to enhance the flavor. But I do like fruit. I like apples. I like grapes. I like bananas. You know, I like oranges. You know, so I'm not against all fruit. I just think watermelon's a little overrated. That's all.
What'd you call it, Jasper?
That's fair.
What? So what we'll do is 3-Bit and I will come to Texas with good tasting watermelon.
Everyone bring a watermelon back.
And we'll have Mav taste it. This is from my state.
I highly doubt that your watermelon will taste different than my watermelon that we have here.
It does.
I think it might actually.
You think so?
Well, I don't know about watermelon. I know like peaches.
Well, I mean, I don't know if the watermelons I eat are necessarily 100% from here. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think they are either.
Yeah, I think they could be from where they mostly grow watermelons, which is probably the same watermelons you guys get. You know, I don't know. Like,
I kind of get it because sometimes I taste some watermelons and it's kind of just like
Papua New Guinea.
You know, it's okay.
Yeah, watermelon is
other watermelons are like
very refreshing, but I think water is better.
Water is better.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
But I don't like cantaloupe
water's water
either.
It's like the basic.
I don't like cantaloupe, but I'll eat the fuck out of a watermelon.
Oh, I love cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon.
Yeah, cantaloupe is way better than watermelon.
Strawberry.
For me, it's honeydew, watermelon, cantaloupe.
Honeydew is
cantaloupe at
okay.
the bottom.
Yeah. Can we get a shout out to Lady AF that's in chat? What's up, lady?
What's up, lady?
We missed you.
Fifth Horseman says Mav eating those sketch melons. Kate's with me. She doesn't like it either.
The sketch melons.
She doesn't like them either. I don't know. Like, there's only
if they taste dirty, who would want to eat them?
They don't taste good, man. I don't know. Like, what's up to Chris Jones? Hit us with a $10 super chat. Appreciate you very much, Chris. He says, hopefully I don't get fired tonight. These quality people at work so lazy and won't check anything. Also appreciate my Xbox Ultimate family. Glad to see you all. Also, 3-Bit, like the hoodie, Fire 100.
What you need to do there, Chris Jones, is that you document, you give them your first piece or whatever your piece is, you document it. So if something does go wrong, you can say, hey, I gave them, they didn't do their job, not my fault. They didn't tell me to stop or nothing. So cover your ass, Chris Jones. Cover your ass.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry. That was your
good advice.
PCA.
So Shizna says stop putting dirt on them. Watermelon is great when it's clean. I mean, so I don't know how the dirt would get inside the melon because you cut it open, then you eat it, right? It's not like I go like cut it open, then go outside. Oh, let me put some dirt on this motherfucker, and then eat it. It just tastes nasty. I don't know. It just like tastes like dirty water.
Are you eating the white part of the watermelon?
No, it's the juicy red part that's like just red or
Hold on,
pink
hold
or
on.
whatever,
The
pinkish red
juicy
color.
red part.
And you're like, oh, this is gonna be good because it looks delicious. Oh, okay. And then, oh, it just fucking tastes like water, and it doesn't taste that good water either. Like I'd rather
Now-
just have
But
water.
I know some people specifically come down to Georgia to just try our peaches. So
There's nothing
A
like a
Georgia peach. Yeah,
A
I like
Georgia
peaches. I'll eat.
I love
peaches.
Tiffany. I love Amber.
Lady says I love watermelon so much that the talk is triggering me. I don't know. I don't know why I don't. Yeah, everybody loves watermelon. Like I thought that everybody hated watermelon. I was shocked when I learned that everybody loved watermelon.
How did you find one other person that hated watermelon like Kaitlin?
Maybe that's like the connection, that just the random thing that makes us syncopatic or simpatico. I don't know.
compatible.
Compatible. Simpatico is also it's like compatible.
Simpatico?
Simpatico is a Spanish word, means something.
Oh,
Compatible.
Wow. This is an educational stream today.
Simpatico means likable and easy to get along with. Having or characterized by shared attributes or interest. Compatible. A simpatico relationship. So I did use it properly.
C.
Drawn TJ with a $2 super chat says, "Hi guys, I'm gonna miss Fun Pop." Yes, thanks for bringing that up, TJ. Yeah, I made a post earlier, and I made an announcement on PM in the PM last night. I told 3-Bit and Jasper and Psycho, and it was it's very I'm not very happy about it, but it's just also a hard decision, you know. But I don't want to be like over dramatic, but for me, it's to show that I do love, and we put a lot of time and effort into it, and had a lot of great conversations on that show. But it will be retiring, and going to be doing some other things. You know, I needed more time to do some other stuff. So,
I know. And it's getting into that season with so much info. We got Comic-Con and coming up.
We can dabble in some of that stuff on our other shows, though. It's not like we don't go left all the time. We can bring up
right now.
Yeah, like right now.
Talking about watermelon for 20 minutes.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about gaming at all yet. Yeah. Another $5 super chat from John TJ. Thank you again, John TJ. Appreciate it, man. He says, "Everyone hit the like button for Mav7, please, so that he can keep Fun Pop." Well, that won't help Fun Pop stay around. It's not why we're moving on from Fun Pop. It's just it's a appreciate that though. Do appreciate any likes and shares and stuff. But it's just about what's best for the channel, and there's other things I want to do, and for that I need time to do it, and taking that off of Wednesday night is going to help. And it also, I mean, unless I were to put Fun Pop on a just being real here, specific channel geared towards that kind of stuff, it's never going to have a chance to find that audience that the gaming audience finds here, right? It's kind of like it's nothing to do with Fun Pop. It's that our other shows, because our channel, the way YouTube works, all the algorithms and all this stuff, it doesn't send that show out to the audience that it would be for. You know what I mean? And if it comes back in the future, it will be most likely on a dedicated channel just for movies and TV show, Marvel, DC, Star Wars stuff, and maybe could be the name of the channel. Who knows? That could happen, but that will take some time because I've got other stuff I want to work on. So that's just a potential thing. I don't want to say, "Hey, this is going to happen," you know. But eventually, something like that may come down. But for now, it's all geared towards Fun Speculation. Is going to be gaming. Chris Jones.
It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You got a bunch of shows. Yeah, I mean, of course, I'm super sad to see it go because
we started it together.
Many people, we started it together, and it was. I think it was the first show after Xbox Ultimate, and
yeah,
I don't know how many episodes there are on it. Was it 20?
54.
56.
54. We were gonna our finale will be 55. We're gonna have our last 55. Episode on Wednesday.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a lot of good times in that for sure.
it was funny that we all got together because of Wonder Woman 84. We watched that,
Yeah, we were
and it
shit
was so
talking.
horrible. And we're like, we gotta talk about it, and that's boom, Fun Pop started.
Yeah,
It gave birth.
That movie was so bad that we needed a whole podcast that ran 56 episodes to talk about it. Yeah, like
that's
good
how
times.
we should probably finish it. How horrible Wonder Woman.
Can we just like have a? Can we all watch Wonder Woman 84 again and like talk about it for our finale?
Yeah, that would be a good.
I mean, that would be actually awesome. It'd be a great culmination. Like, you know, can we force you to watch Wonder Woman 84, Jasper?
I would watch it, but it just seems like redoing the first episode. Like,
you know,
I forget movies very easily. So
Wonder Woman,
it would be like watching it for the first time.
A year and a half later. What do we think?
The Wishmaster still sucks.
Pedro Pascal's worst performance ever.
Yeah. Good as Mando, horrible as a Wishmaster. What the fuck?
Yeah, and he's going to be Joel also, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That'd be crazy if he played the Wishmaster character as Joel. No, that wouldn't be a good fit.
It sounds like Sony might do that because Sony has no idea what they do when it comes to certain movies like Morbius,
right?
And
I still haven't watched it.
Craven the Manhunter.
Chris Jones with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you again, Chris. It says everyone hit the like button so Math can get a new hat. That may eventually lead to me getting a new hat. That might be possible. Also, John TJ with a $10 super chat says, at least you got other podcasts. Keep on being a great content creator. By the way, when do you think Age of Empires comes to consoles? Well, I hope this year, man, because that shit, everybody, all the people saying, oh, I've been hearing things, whatever, could be coming this year, but no announcement of it. The fact that they didn't say anything about it at non-E3.
I think they leave it for Gamescom and put it out at 1 year anniversary in October.
1 year anniversary October? That would make sense. Yeah. If not,
drop it.
If it doesn't happen then, Jasper, I think like the best we could hope for is next year. Yeah. But I think it's gonna happen.
When you put it out next year? Amongst the 50 games we're gonna be talking about tonight?
I don't know. It's hard.
Coming out in the first half of 2023.
July,
still
something like that.
Don't know
maybe?
what
I don't know.
The second half is officially yet. It's like fuck.
Yeah.
That's first party and third party. Like it's so compact next year. People are forgetting that 2022 had no games. They're gonna be like
2023 is gonna have too many
games.
Yeah.
Especially
the first 6 months.
We didn't have games.
It's gonna be nuts.
Wishing they didn't have so many games.
It's gonna be the year of the backlog.
Right?
Yeah.
The extended backlog because it just added 30 games.
You just beat a game in a week.
No, Jasper. We like to play the games.
You, Jasper.
And like we like to scurry. We don't speed run through the game and be like, I got it down in 5 hours. Well, no.
John TJ with a $2 super chat said it's garbage. I'm assuming you mean Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah. The first one I liked. The second one was like I find entertaining, but in a different way. Vik The CLiCK with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you guys. He said, appreciate you, Vic. He says, wait, you guys talk about games here? I here for the side conversation. Yeah. That's the Ultimate's got a rep for that, I guess. Dr. Dinglenut is re-upped on his membership, dude. Appreciate you 100% as well.
Thank
and
you, sir.
John TJ with another $5 super chat. You guys are going crazy tonight. There are 6 games coming out in October alone this year. It's getting crazy. Yeah, so we'll start with that, guys. I mean, wait, did we even do or finish our intros?
No, I think I was interrupted. I said I had a fever or something like that, and then Psycho.
Yeah, Jasper has COVID. Let's go.
Yeah, Jasper. 30 minutes in, Jasper. Hey, welcome to the show, man. What's up?
It's all right. I was freezing like 5 minutes ago, and now I'm getting hot again. So it's just an update.
Oh, so you haven't had flashes?
Wow.
See, you're like my mom.
It's the cold sweats, is what it is, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Do your bones hurt? Are they
He
like
just needs
achy?
some elderberry.
No,
and
my
he'll
my
be
body
okay.
actually feels pretty good today. Just my throat feels like I ate a razor blade, so
Oh,
You know what I
I
hear is
can't
good for
swallow
that?
without it hurting.
Watermelon.
Some
No, elderberry.
Elderberry.
Motherfucker.
Yeah.
Elderberry.
need some elderberry.
3-bits
You'll
cured
be-
everything. You know, just like old people's like, put some Windex on it. You know, 3-bits like got elderberry. If you open up his medicine cabinet, it's just like 20 bottles of elderberry. If you
Got
open
it.
up his
Yeah.
pantry, there's a whole shelf dedicated to elderberry. Not
Here's
only
your
does he
dried
have
elderberry.
not only does he have the
Yeah,
vitamins, he has
yeah,
dried
got that,
ones. He
Oh,
has like
oh, you're-
raw ones. He
You're
has,
real sick. Here's some
Mhm.
fresh ones
Yeah.
I just picked today.
yeah, he has a fucking. Did elderberry grow on a tree or is it like an actual berry? I don't even fucking know. Is this like it's a bush?
Do they have like elderberry jelly or something?
Do you-
Yeah, they do.
Do you got
can get
elderberry
it at
bushes in the front
IKEA.
yard?
IKEA.
What?
IKEA
Wait, are you
grocery has
serious?
I'm swear to God, they got elderberry fountain drink. They got elderberry
Fountain
jam, jelly. They got it. They got it all.
I guess that's to help with the meatballs, right?
the Swedish meatballs.
All right, Jasper, you heard the man. Go get some
Dude.
elderberry jelly.
Go
Put it in your
go to the freaking IKEA cafeteria. Go get some Swedish meatballs, and then go get you some elderberry and elderberry
Elderberry.
jam, elderberry juice. We got some
It's next to
elderberry.
the peanut butter. Go make you an
Yes.
elderberry peanut butter sandwich.
But make sure it's not used.
Go rub elderberry all over your body. You'll feel better. Trust me. 3-bit gets sick. He gets like, I'll be right back. He goes outside. He like is picking in his bushes for 20 minutes. He comes inside with a basket. I got the cure. Anyway.
We already got 100 messages already. Woo! Thank you, Restream.
Wow, already. Wow, that's does it say that somewhere?
Yeah,
Yeah, Restream.
I
Where?
don't see it.
in the
You
restream
received
chat.
100 messages today on with Restream chat.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even see that.
Cool.
Oh
Cool.
wow.
Is right
Really?
above just a little that 3-bit put in there.
Really? I don't see
Oh,
anything
now I
yet,
see
either
it.
than like in
It just popped up.
Tempest Peach
Scrolling
saying
down.
that 3-bit looks like Kid Cudi's son. That's what I see above just a little. And also, yeah, just a little.
It just popped up for me.
Chris Jones with the $2 super chat says, I've only seen one Avengers movie and one Iron Man. Wow.
Wait, who?
Chris
Only
Jones.
one
What?
Iron Man?
Well, we've
Chris?
Tony
The
Grasso.
Chris Jones we know?
Yeah, the Chris Jones we know. The Tony Grasso yesterday when we were talking to him on Fun Pop or on Wednesday or on Thursday. I don't
Chris
remember.
It was on Fun Pop.
Was it on Fun Pop?
The
Yeah, he
one-
said
yeah.
that he had never seen an MCU movie or a Star Wars
Wow.
movie.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so we
don't-
put him to
don't-
work. He said he's gonna get to
Don't
it.
start with the Disney trilogy. Don't.
Got some work.
Yeah. But hey,
Save
that's
that for
okay,
last.
Chris. You got some homework to do, but it's all right.
Yep.
All right, we'll talk about let's talk about these October games, guys. We'll start with that because wow, it's not looking too shabby here. Not too shabby. We
Well,
got
I mean, there's.
lots of
I'm
games.
sorry. I was gonna say there's even. It's not on all on Game Pass, but even August is stacked as hell. Like I put a list of August games. I thought it was Game Pass, but in my weird haze, I was like, oh shit! I was looking at just a normal. I mean, it's just what's coming. I mean, within the fucking 3 months, we got. I want to say about 20 games,
Yeah.
either in through Game Pass or to purchase. It's nuts.
Yeah.
It's a good time to be an Xbox player.
Yeah, and this is
Flood.
crazy without any first party, which still sucks. You know what I mean? It does
Yeah.
suck, right?
It does.
But I'll say that like if they had first party on top of this, like it would be even more crazy because there's going to be a lot of stuff to play. Like if you include third parties in there, plus you include these games that are coming to Game Pass day one, and you include some of these timed exclusives or console launch exclusives, all that kind of stuff. There's just a crap ton of stuff to play on Xbox this holiday. October and November, December, you got a Callisto Protocol, Gotham Knights. We don't know when Hogwarts is coming out, but that's supposed to be this year as well.
Yeah, holiday.
Then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 looks, a lot of people are excited about that one this year because it hopefully is going to be a return to glory for that franchise. Then we got Plague Tale Requiem, a highly anticipated sequel to a lot of Xbox fans' much beloved game, the original one. Game Pass day one. Persona finally making its way to Xbox in October with Persona 5 Royal. Humankind coming out this year as well, which is going to be on console as well, which is for a strategy game, coming to Game Pass. Scorn coming to Game Pass day one as well for the survival horror fans. You got Overwatch 2, which is free to play for everybody, but that's gonna, if you guys don't think Overwatch 2 is gonna be a big deal when it launches, you're gonna see crap tons of people playing it everywhere, right?
There's gonna be a lot of negative feedback on that though too.
There will be 100%, but you'll
yeah.
see it's one of the top played games on Twitch.
Yeah,
I guarantee that for sure.
I did hear something about that though, about the Overwatch 2, about the everything is transferable over. So everything that you bought from the first Overwatch is transferred to Overwatch 2 when it takes over, because Overwatch 1 is no longer playable once Overwatch 2 comes out. So
is it more of just like a big update?
it's like
and a transfer to free to play, or is Overwatch currently already free to play?
It's you got to buy it. I think.
You had to
right.
buy
So
it.
they're basically what they're doing is they're turning it into a free to play game and adding stuff to it and calling it Overwatch.
That's the thing. Like what they're adding isn't too much. It's like we waited 4 years for this, so I think a lot of people are going to be kind of.
Well, that's why they made a big deal. Remember a couple years ago? Oh, and we have a huge reveal regarding Overwatch, and then they were just revealed like an updated version of a character skin.
Yeah,
it technically feels like a DLC update than a like a real sequel.
Yeah.
So
because I think they're adding like 3 characters and like a few maps, and that's about
but
it.
will it get like a good like?
I mean, they overhauled the gameplay systems too.
What about graphics? Because even I know like it's not like supposed to be like a graphically like graphic powerhouse, but neither was Fortnite. But when they jumped from like chapter 1 to chapter 2 in Fortnite, there was a big graphical leap there at one point, and I remember the game went dark for a few days. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also that art style. Like you'll just get like better textures and stuff on that art style. I don't know if it'll be like a huge graphical thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It might
be
better.
like slightly better lighting and stuff like that,
shadowing,
but it's not really about
lighting,
that.
shadowing.
It's more
Better
about
like anti-AOC and all that kind of stuff. But
Does Overwatch run at
already
4K 60 already on consoles?
no,
Right.
I don't think so. I don't think they've done anything with it.
So I'm wondering if this will. I would hope so.
Possibly if they utilize the tools that are out there, yes, it can go 4K 60, but they have not announced. That's the thing. They haven't really came out and said what this game is, what's new
They haven't
about
talked
it.
about it a lot, right?
They haven't really gone in depth too much. They just said a little bit. If they're just little snippets here and there, if that's really everything that they've done, that's why they haven't really deep dived into the game. The community will be like, so what is changing other than maybe some visual aspects, a couple characters, maps, the mechanics they could be fixing, but it's like, okay, it's like, why are you calling it Overwatch 2 then if it's not a true sequel to the
I think
game?
it's marketing.
Did they say they're adding a campaign to it?
Yeah, there's supposed to be some short story stuff, I think, for each character.
Yeah, I don't know. Like if they went Titanfall 1 route with campaign, it's not good. That was like nothing.
Did Titanfall 1 even have a campaign?
No.
It was
Just
like
the starter. Yeah,
it was
tutorial thing.
little story that went with what was going on. So it was like not a real campaign story. It was like
It was like Chrome Hounds, Shadowrun, FPS, like that kind of thing, where they just kind of like threw something in there just to kind of have you tutorial. Okay, yeah, I remember it now. It's just so forgettable. Titanfall 2 campaign was fire though. Right?
Oh yeah,
fire! Titanfall 2 is one of the best campaigns I played in a very long time, and it's very, very underrated. I tell people this day, if you have not played Titanfall 2, it's campaign, play it. That's all I gotta say, and you will fall in love. And you'll be like, why isn't this? There's a third part to this game, and
maybe
They really
eventually
showed the Battlefield.
Yeah, I think Apex is making too much money for them to think about making a Titanfall 3 right now. And then also like Vincent Pella's preoccupied with the Battlefield stuff, you know. And he's also doing, you know, Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor, right? So there's just lots of stuff that they got going on. Maybe after Jedi Survivor, maybe they can work on Titanfall 3 potentially.
Yeah.
You said Apex 2?
Or see, that's the thing too. A lot of people like, I don't think Apex needs like a,
yeah, it doesn't.
I mean, they could just keep updating it, you know, like have a big overhaul update.
That's what I thought with Overwatch, that they will just keep
Right.
updating it.
But
that's what we all thought.
But the reason they're not,
they are
because they're going free to play, and that's the big switch there, I think, right? Because they're trying to differentiate the two by make a big announcement that this is a big new thing, when there's pretty much just dropping the pay model, and so that way everybody that paid for the original game don't feel cheated, you know, like, well, you're just making it free for everybody now
because they can't play it. You can't even pop in your disc to play it if you wanted. It's no longer available.
Yeah. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah, it's kind of what Destiny did, isn't it?
Well, you can still play Destiny 1.
Yeah.
Right, but a lot of the Destiny 2 content that people bought is no longer playable.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they sunsetted some of it.
They vaulted that stuff. They're trying to be like Disney with that kind of shit.
So I guess that it's kind of smart doing that if you don't, if you're trying not to split your player base. I guess like some people like, I prefer the first Overwatch. Or like, well, that's too darn bad, Grandpa. They have to play this.
Yeah,
you have no choice but play the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no choice.
And it's very similar. It looks very similar, though, from what I've seen. And some people have mentioned in chat, they increased the players from 5v5 to 6v6.
No, it's the other way. It was 6v6.
Oh,
now it's 5v5.
Oh, they're downgraded.
Great. Yeah, that's good news.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, what are they doing?
Is it smaller maps then?
It's the same maps.
It's like one step forward, 2 steps back.
It's like what? 2 new maps?
That just
2 new maps.
Confused the heck out of me.
Yeah,
it kind of just
I am
sounds
more
like
confused now for sure.
Halo Infinite. I was like, here's 3 maps for our update for season 2.
I think it's to give it like a more competitive like feel. Because with 6v6, it can get a little like too crazy with everyone ulting, and it just kind of becomes like a mess. Where if you get 5v5, it's more competitive.
So there's only 2 new maps, and all the rest of them are the same maps.
I don't know how many new maps there is, but it's not many.
Not much.
Okay.
Wow.
So here's part 2, folks.
I don't know. If somebody knows, put in the chat. I'm not. I don't want to give misinformation.
I'm looking at it right now. A lot of this stuff. It's like damage heroes now have 10% faster movement speed. I'm like,
cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So is there new maps?
Yeah, there's at least 2. There's
at least 2.
We know 2.
How many new heroes?
Yeah, I think 3.
3.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the sequel.
Right. It's not a sequel. I'm just gonna keep saying this. Like the sequel thing is just a big marketing ploy. And
Overwatch Part 2.
It's starting to sound like Crossfire X.
Or it should be what Overwatch
this game's
2?
Actually good.
Yeah, that's true. You can't compare Overwatch to Crossfire.
I mean, they still could like surprise us because it's not out yet. They could be like in like a week before it drops.
4 new heroes instead.
Yeah.
4 with 2.5 maps.
Yeah.
No,
I just don't want them to give my dwarf that makes turrets.
Torbjorn.
How do you say it?
Torbjorn.
Yeah. Torbjorn.
What were you saying, Fuzzy?
Did I say it right?
No, I was going to say maybe if the Activision Blizzard deal gets finalized by the time it releases, it'd be like, oh, and your Game Pass Ultimate perks are additional 3 more characters or something like that. They'll kind of pull it out type of deal. But
1 new map.
Well,
and one.
That's interesting though. That makes me wonder, with the Riot Games deal, what they're doing for PC Game Pass there. When Overwatch 2 and Blizzard is part of Xbox, will they roll that? With that rolled into with Game Pass, will they give everybody all the characters, or are they going to make people pay for them?
For what? Valorant or Overwatch?
Overwatch.
All the characters are free.
when they introduce new characters in a free-to-play game, they're going to be free in the future for Overwatch.
Yeah, I think they only said the only monetization they're doing for Overwatch 2 is just Battle Pass.
Does your skins carry over? Because I had some pretty.
I figured it'd be like
They did.
Apex, you know what I mean, where like they
They
introduce
did.
new characters over time and then charge for that.
They did say skins are carried because that was my one concern. I was heard about this last night. I'm like, what do you mean Overwatch 2 is going to overtake the first Overwatch? And I read into it, and that was my first complaint. Like, oh shit, everything that people bought skin wise, they're just gonna be like, oh, sorry about that. But no, it's
I
gonna carry over.
bought a lot of skins in that game.
Yeah, you played it a lot on PC, right? 3-bit.
Yeah, that's the bad thing. Like, I don't think it's cross. Oh, I don't think it'll cross over into console, right?
I don't think there's cross.
Because I have a lot of like skins and playtime on the PC, but
in the new ones, is the new one crossplay or the same one that's updated to 2? Is it crossplay?
Well, I guess since
it should be.
technically
It's free to
the
play.
first one, probably not though. Right?
I think they said they didn't do that before because they didn't want to like have PC people just destroying console people because that game's really like twitchy when you're shooting.
Right. Hey, fair. I take offense. I can hold my own against PC players. We get forced to play against them in Call of Duty all the time, right? I mean, you get in Warzone, you can't even not play crossplay. It's kind of bullshit, personally, I think. But you know, like you can have a good experience on there without as long as there's no cheaters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with PC. It's hard to. They like to cheat.
Oh, is it crossplay? It may be crossplay now.
Yeah, Tando says it is crossplay. Okay, cool.
Nice. Well, I thought it's been crossplay, at least with Xbox PC.
I haven't played it in a while. I only played it for like the first year, and I knew it wasn't then. So,
right on.
Yeah,
it's kind of the same. I played it early on. I would like reinstall it and like go back to it like once every like year. And play a few matches. Where's Overwatch like now? Oh, it's like the same. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
My ex's kids used to play the hell out of it.
Yeah,
and that's all they played. That's why on my Xbox you'll see like Overwatch played for I forget like 200 something hours. Yeah, that wasn't me. That was her kids.
Yeah,
they loved the shit out of it. So I had to buy them Xboxes so they can play it. I was like, get off my Xbox, yeah, David.
So besides Overwatch though, which I think it's gonna be a massive deal, like when that comes out, we got we got High on Life coming in October as well, and
Game Pass.
Yeah, Game Pass Day 1. That game's looking pretty sick, guys. I don't know, like this is one of those like indie studios that's trying to do bigger things, you know. Every time I see or hear some more about this game, I get more interested. And it's a console launch exclusive to Xbox in October. Game Pass Day 1. It's going to be on PC as well, right? So hype meter now for High on Life. Do you think this could be something that kind of surprises a lot of people and gets a lot of playtime?
Oh, 100%.
It's definitely going to be a fun time for the fact that it's like kind of like that Rick and Morty aesthetic to it, and just the comedy relief you're going to have from the weapons talking to you, like the one that was saying, "Oh, you know, I'm shooting at my children. This easy to make more of them," type of thing. Stuff like that is just people are going to get hooked on that thing pretty quick. And
I think the good thing with October being packed, I feel like this game's going to be a shorter game, like maybe 3 to 8 hours to like finish. So you could like finish that one in like a couple days or so for most people, and then still play something else.
Yeah, I just love it. It's gonna have that surprise factor, kind of like Sunset Overdrive had for a lot of people on the Xbox One generation when that came out, because it's just unique. It's quirky. The guns have, they talk back to you, so they have their, they talk. They'll do whole different different things with the characters. So I mean, it's the guy that's behind
Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland.
Yeah, so that's just right there. Is if you like Rick and Morty and you like that type of content, I can only, and this is his studio and they're making it, so you can only imagine the quirkiness that they're gonna bring to this game, because it's not like somebody else is envisioning his dream, his vision. It's him doing it. So like it's impressive that a, an animation artist decided to make a video game. Started his own studio to make. So it's like one of those passion projects. So when you get a passion project, they really a lot of times they put their heart and soul into it, and it comes out really good.
Yeah,
and this is I think their like third game they made. So this is they've just taken what they've learned from their past games too. So
yeah, this is kind of like if Seth MacFarlane made a game. That's what it's kind of like.
Yeah.
I think if you guys have watched Rick and Morty, he has a very creative writing, and to the point where you can't help but just admire how complex it can get being a comedy. And I think we're definitely seeing that just within the trailers and stuff for High on Life. I've seen a couple of the trailers. I think it has that sort of feeling of the Rick and Mortiness. So I am really looking forward to it.
And they're gonna banter back and forth with you with the weapons. You know what I'm saying? The weapons are gonna banter with you, and it's just brings that more little bit of dialogue that keeps you engaged in the game. 3-bit.
Yeah,
gonna be some stupid fun, man. I forget that this have co-op? I don't think it does. Right, single player.
I think it's just single player.
Single player. Be interesting to go through, kind of go through a single player first person shooter with.
This is Xbox's Bug Snacks.
No,
I don't think so.
It looks way better than some Bug Snacks.
Bug Snacks is more like Viva Pinata, and Viva Pinata is a lot better than the.
We guys got against Bug Snacks, huh?
Nothing.
What do Bug Snacks do to you?
It ain't Bug Snacks. That's all I gotta say.
I don't have anything against Bug Snacks, but my daughter absolutely loves Bug Snacks. But I will say seems like it's a few
more for adults.
Yeah, it's
obviously.
more for adults. But it seems like production wise and at another level than Bug Snacks as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they're really going for it. With a lot of their animations and the way the guns and stuff operate, a lot of the physics and like the platforming elements you got going on there. The guns do different things and stuff. Seems really cool. Cool story too. Hey, Fancy, what's up? Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Hey, look who's joined. Hello.
She was sucked into Fall Guys, probably.
No.
Yeah. And it releases October 25th. So
yeah, that
I thought
the whole
it was
week
out already. Wait, what? What were you?
High on
Are we
Life.
talking about Fall Guys?
No, we're talking about High on Life.
High on Life.
Oh, I was like, that game.
Not Fall Guys.
Have we talked about Fall Guys yet?
No. Well, saving it for you, babe.
We won't talk about that yet.
But yeah, I think High on Life's got a lot of potential, and there's a lot of cool elements to it that are unique, right? And it looks different than anything else. So I have a feeling it could be a huge hit. And then another one that I'm a little bit more weary of, but I'm still gonna play just because, I got to try it. Is Midnight Suns.
I gotta buy that one though.
No, I'm
the card RTS kind of or turn-based thing.
Is it like Magic the game kind of?
No, not that.
It might as well be at this point with what they keep showing. It does have cards in it, but it's also
I don't know
like
what that means. So maybe you could explain to me and anybody that doesn't know.
Lore Master, are you gonna struggle through your sore throat to explain?
Yeah. Let me get this dick out now.
Whoa.
No, just it's like it's a turn-based game. So like whenever you want to attack a guy, you just you have like a deck of cards below you, and you pick a deck of card out of the deck of cards. You have like a card that's like shoot laser beams out your eyes or whatever super powered is, and you just use that card and it'll hit the enemy. So the way you attack.
Do anything?
No, you just use cards that are like in your deck.
What the fuck how is it a game then?
Well, it's like a tactics game, right? Like in XCOM, you choose.
It sounds a lot like Magic. Or sorry, Dungeons and Dragons, like a shit that the Stranger Kids things play.
Stranger Things.
Or it's just like a card game, but they add extra stuff. Like let's say I put down like a Uno card, and except you're just putting it down, the Uno cards can like beat each other up. And
but there's a lot of decision making and like choices you have to make,
You don't
and like
actually get to control a character.
Well,
That's, like,
I think
fighting.
you can move your dude around the board. So like you can like strategize that way. Like maybe put your dude behind cover and then shoot over the cover by using your card.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah, this sounds like something I could play.
Yeah, you could play it.
I don't have to actually fight.
Right. Yeah, it's about decision making.
It's about common sense, so I could probably wipe all of you.
Hey,
you know
hey!
What? I mean, to be honest with you, these tactics games are mostly based on common sense. You know what I mean? It's about strategy and common sense. About like, okay, if I do this, like I'm leaving myself open to attack. If I, and it's also a little bit of risk reward at times. This one, like, what the interesting thing for me is how the RPG people are saying it is. Right, that's what's kind of selling it back to me. It's just not the game that I thought it was going to be when I saw that it was Firaxis making it. I was figuring it was going to be Marvel XCOM, which was like, hell yeah, that's what I want, right? But it's not that. It has to do with cards, and it looks more like
maybe it's going to be really good though.
Could be. I'm.
Is it going to be Game Pass?
No, it's not Game Pass. It's $70. But it's got. I'm holding out hope it could be good. Like, I've wanted a big strategy game. In Marvel, 2K's publishing this thing, really putting money behind it. Like doing all this stuff. I'm holding out hope because I want it to succeed. I want it to be good. But we'll see. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna get this game, and that's also early October, right?
We'll wait and see what the review scores are.
Yeah, let's wait.
We'll wait.
Yeah. I mean,
it could be a 27 out of 100.
It's just worrying for me, like how it was initially pitched as XCOM and Marvel game, and then it was nothing like that. And then
they never pitched it.
They never said that. Yeah,
that was the rumors, right?
Right, we assumed it because of who was making
everyone assumed what they thought.
But that's not the major thing. That was just the side. Another thing that's been worrying me is every time they show the game. At these major press conferences, it's not the game. It's just
they hide the fact that it's the card game.
They hide. It feels like they hide the game.
Yeah,
they're like, it has an awesome
trailers.
That's because they got destroyed when they first showed it off.
Yeah. So, but you have to show it. At some point, if you're still gonna.
Well, they keep showing it to like behind the, like IGN has a lot of coverage over it and different websites and stuff, and that's where you can see all the stuff and like the initial
at these major shows, they'll show the trailer and
CG
then like
trailer,
they'll sneak in gameplay to like IGN, like here, just
it's like the mobile games. The mobile games have the best trailers out there, but when you see it, it's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
no way! I can't wait for this to come out. And you see it's mobile, and you're like, fuck.
That's the thing. It's a card-based game. Why trick with the whole CG trailers? Like it's going to be something totally different. Us consumers, the gamers, are going to buy your game, not the IGNs of the world. They're just going to get their free copy, say thank you, write a decent, if they like it enough, they'll write a decent article about it, and then when people see the game, they're like, "What the hell is this? This is like total like how they're showing the game off. It was not like a card-based game. If it's like Magic the Gathering, like straight up, here's a card, put it down type. Like it's
cool, not like that, because we've seen some stuff that like.
But are there going to be animations? You're going to see whatever? Like if you lay down Wolverine card, he's going to come to life on the screen and attack. Let's say Sabretooth.
Well, Wolverine would already be on the field.
Yeah, so there's already characters on the field, and the cards represent their abilities.
It's pretty much like think of it like XCOM, but instead of picking your like attack move, you just have cards that you choose from. So each character doesn't have like you just use the cards as the attack instead of actually having the abilities for every character.
All right, this kind of sounds a little lame now.
But, all right. Here's the thing. The one thing that's keeping me from like completely writing this game out, because I'm not really into card games and stuff, and and destroying it. Is the passion of the developers. They seem to really like. If you've seen the interviews of them, they're like, "Yeah, we worked on this game for so long," and then I'm like, "Okay," and then I see
show
the game,
it.
I mean,
show us gameplay.
There's gameplay. There's a lot of gameplay out there. It's like,
Is there? Okay, I want to see it.
Yeah, it's on IGN.
Yeah, IGN released that.
What is it?
What was that?
Fuck
15
IGN.
Well, I mean, you gotta go where the gameplay is, man. They had first looks. They've written articles explaining things and stuff. Like that was the first time we saw the gameplay when everybody got down on it.
Midnight Suns.
Yeah, and then there's been a little bit overhauled and more recent. Like it still looks similar.
More gameplay for the on E3 last week. Or
yeah, like the day after they showed the CG trailer, right? And I mean, the things that were selling it back to me is how like the other stuff in it. Like they're talking about how much of an RPG it actually is as well, right? Which is like we didn't really think of that too much, but there's like a lot of like relationship building and like a lot of stuff going on and like the base, you know, of operations and stuff like that, you know.
I'm wondering how much that matters though, or if it's just like they're saying that and it's just like just generic dialogue that doesn't mean anything, you know.
Right. It's gonna be interesting. They're introducing a new character as well into Marvel, you know. So I don't know. How do you feel? I'm curious to 3-bit. How do you feel about them introducing a brand new Marvel character through a game? Has this even been done before? I don't know if it has.
Yeah,
Star Wars
did that with X-Men Legends. Technically, Harley Quinn was introduced through the cartoon. I think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah, I'm talking about that she was introduced to the cartoon back in the 90s for sure.
Star Wars did that with Fallen Order.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And then X-Men Legends had like some character, I think. Like I can't remember her name, but it can be done.
Yeah.
My problem isn't with that. I think that's that could be really cool, and then they could take that, and if people really like that character, they could put in other mediums like comics and then eventually movies and stuff. If it's pretty good, but I don't know. I honestly I'm gonna give the game a shot because I like giving things a chance, and usually I love getting surprised by things like movies and TV shows and even games. So I'll it's not on Game Pass though, right?
No, it's $70.
So no. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait.
I'll give
the game. I'm not giving things a shot as long as
I'll give a shot.
Yeah, if they're in game. That's why I love Game Pass, because normally the games I wouldn't have ever given a shot.
I mean, it could come to Game Pass, but
it just
they could. But the thing is, like 2K, the Strauss Zelnick is like, oh, it's only for legacy titles, all this stuff. I don't know. Pong seems to think there's a slim chance, you know, just because it's a Firaxis game and it's not like they're just publishing it, you know. But like, I don't know. I think we're more likely to get Gotham Knights.
Months later.
A few months later would be very possible, especially if it flops.
Yeah.
All right. See, this is what my concern was. I'm watching the trailer right now for the gameplay trailer. It gives you like little seconds of the cards being up. It doesn't even show you everything, what cards or damage they're doing, whatever. It just comes up, fades away real quick, and then they do their action. And then it goes into another minute trailer, CG trailer.
There's like an actual full gameplay.
Just gameplay footage.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
No, you're looking at the trailer. There's actual like they're just playing the game.
Extended gameplay.
There's like a 15-minute like video out there, I think, or something, or a 9-minute video.
Okay, this is 6 minutes, but yeah, every time the cards pop up, it disappears. So why? I think that's what frightens me. Is not that, you know, I'll give a game a chance, but if they're trying to hide certain things, then it's just like, why you're not showing? What?
Huh?
I heard that.
Chris Jones with a $5 super chat says, whoa, let's not hate on my Magic the Gathering. Thanks, Chris.
I love Magic the Gathering, but if this is hiding the fact of what the
all your mana's tapped, bro. You can't play anything right now.
No, there's a lot of information about it. Like, you just got to read the articles and then like listen to them talk about it and watch the gameplay videos and stuff. And it's not what we'd first hoped for when we heard about this game, right? You know, the rumors were for Axis making like an XCOM. That was rumors, right? It was like Firaxis making like an XCOM type Marvel game. And it turned out to be true that when they announced this thing, Midnight Suns, I was like, oh, this is the Firaxis fucking like strategy game, Marvel strategy game. Oh my God. Everybody was like so pumped and like, we were like super excited and stuff. And then the next day we checked out, or 2 days later, whenever it was, we checked out and found out what the gameplay was and realized it wasn't XCOM. It wasn't anything like XCOM, right? And that's where the disappointment set in. I don't necessarily have an issue just with the fact that there's cards in the game. I'm going to give this game a fair chance. My main thing is like what could have been. Because if they would have just straight up made an XCOM clone with Marvel, that's would have been like enough. And I think everybody would have fucking flipped over that. You know what I mean? So the choice was like not to do that and to make this other unique hybrid type game, right? And maybe it'll be amazing. But right now it's not clicking with people because I think people still having that mind of like what could have been, right? Like if they just made
it could be amazing. Yeah. And me and Psycho are judging it and I don't know, maybe it is a really good game, but
maybe it will be.
From at least, okay, hold on, when I'm seeing from this I went to the 20-minute trailer, so what I'm looking at is that the characters cards that are on the field, you must have those characters on the field if that's how you pick them, if they're going to be there.
Well, yeah, you're not going to go in with cards that aren't for characters you don't have.
Well, that's what
the cards come up because of the characters that you chose, probably.
Okay, so the game automatically detects what characters are on the field and then what cards you have in your deck.
You probably build a deck before you go in. So like each character probably has like 20 or 50 or something like that cards you can choose from, and you pick like 10 to go in with.
Yeah, but if it comes out to be like characters that you are introduced to you through the game, you won't have those cards. So that's what I'm saying. Like, will you get cards as you play along, as you progress? You collect cards, so when new characters come, you'll have some cards. Like, oh, why do I have this?
Maybe they all start with like a starting deck or something like that.
And then you progress, and then that might be. That's
I have no idea.
More people off, it's pay to win, and you get to buy better cards with real money.
Oof, if they do that, people will fucking not buy.
Wait, does this have multiplayer, like competitive multiplayer?
No, I think it's just story mode.
Right. Okay.
I don't know, but all right. So I'm looking at the 20-minute video. I'll post the link. It looks a lot better than what the first one I was looking at. Sorry for my rant, but
I'm still not 100% sold on it. I got my guard up, but I want it to be good. So we'll see. You know,
it's in chat.
Right on. So also, we do have the Resident Evil expansion coming as well. I know a lot of people are excited about that. I personally am not, because it's more the psychological style horror and not the action-based horror like Resident Evil Village was to begin with. But anybody here excited for the big expansions coming for that?
I don't care about Resident Evil.
Resident Evil Village expansion.
No. I still haven't played it, so no.
Is this the one where it's third person?
Yeah, it's the one with the daughter, Rose.
There's going to be a third-person mode now as part of this expansion. Plus, there's also the daughter. Yeah, looks like Jasper Rose is going to have her own little story. I don't want to spoil any things, but like, they kind of already did when they announced this. You know what I mean? Like, so the game kind of leaves you with what's happening in her future now, right? So that's where we kind of pick up where the main game left off.
Isn't Resident Evil 4 also getting a third person patch? Or is it just Village?
Resident Evil 4 is getting a full remake.
Yeah.
Sorry, not 4.
7?
7.
I know it got an HD update, but I'm not sure if it got the third person.
Also getting third?
No, what it was Village. You're going to be able to play Village in third person mode. And also the DLC is third person. Or the expansion. Okay. Rose's story is third person. So they went and retroactively made it an option if you get this expansion to play Village in third person, the main story as well, right? Which I remember you had an issue with that because they held a gameplay mechanic behind an expansion.
Yeah. that was my biggest complaint. Like, I think it's cool that they're adding it, especially for people who are fans of the Resident Evil franchise, but they played the newer games and realized like these games are way different than the past ones in terms of the first person aspect. So this could be good for new or older fans of the franchise. Like they could jump in and try out the third person mode, see how they like it. But my biggest complaint was the fact that like a gameplay mode, like you're changing the camera and then you're charging people for that. Like to me, and it's especially it depends on how you make the game. But whenever you have a game, um, a lot of the pipeline for developers now is kind of building things out of third person and then sort of making it fit for first person, so that way you see the body and everything. So really, it is just you're messing with the camera already, and to me that should just be like a patch you give out to people. But I don't think you should charge for like switching the perspective. That's kind of weird to me. Like I don't understand like the story. What you're saying with like the daughter, that to me makes sense. Yeah, charge for that. Like you're adding something to the game that's not initially there. It feels greedy when companies start doing stuff like that. Sony takes advantage of people like that, and I'm always
Last of Us
I always have
remake.
been against it.
Yeah.
2K does it too. They did
Part
it with
3.
Grand Theft Auto when GTA 5 got
GTA
their
also.
It's
last
the
gen update,
re-remake.
the Xbox One. They put first person mode as part of that. Is the only way to get it right.
You mean the
Well,
remaster?
that was
Jasper?
also a little different. I feel like for GTA because like I don't know if it could run on 360 with first person.
You probably couldn't. And that was
a
very
first
transformative
person-
as well. In GTA
It's a
5?
first person. GTA. I thought you said 2K. Like a basketball first person game. That'd be kind of cool.
Ooh, that would be
that'd be
crazy,
nauseating.
dude. You see
Hard.
elbows flying at your face and shit.
yes,
No,
sir.
I'm getting scared.
I feel like that'd be nauseating.
Could you imagine
Like,
playing that in
imagine
all that
VR?
stuff.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
I mean that.
throwing up.
I kind of like it. I mean, just don't make the camera shake as much. But...
Could they make me good?
I don't know.
Jerry West with another brick.
No, but I think whenever companies like you should always celebrate when companies do stuff for free. Like whenever you have like a patch or something, you should definitely celebrate them because otherwise developers will always take advantage of the gamer. And that's something
speaking of that 3-bit, do you give them a pass now on that because they did give us 3 games with free updates?
That should be celebrated. Yeah.
Right. So Resident Evil,
but that doesn't give them a pass for me. Yeah. I still think that should be free. But that's pretty awesome that they decided to do a next gen patch, which should be free anyways. So yes, it should be celebrated, but yeah, it should be free.
I think it was Resident Evil remake, Resident Evil 2 remake, and then was it Resident Evil 2 remake, Resident Evil 3 remake, and 7? I know there was 3 games.
2, 3, and 7.
2, 3, and 7.
3 and 7.
Okay. Yeah. So they all got free updates with I think with ray tracing and all this kind of stuff. I haven't reinstalled to try them out, but Resident Evil 7 is already scary enough for me. I can't imagine it looking any better because I can't do it.
I have to play that. I have not played that either.
Me and Kate have tried to play that like 10 times, I think, and we just start and stop because
it's terrifying. It's genuinely terrifying.
Is it?
I want to beat it.
It's more
RE7?
like claustrophobic, like you always have a sense of like something's following you, like something's going to come around the corner. You don't know what to expect. So it's a constant anticipation.
So
feeling.
Like Resident Evil 2 feel? Kind of like how that jump scare.
Scarier than that because Resident Evil 2, your camera being zoomed out. Yes, it has closer quarters, but your camera being zoomed out give you some sense of protection. But this is just like you have no clue what's like around you.
Resident Evil 7 for me is the scariest Resident Evil game ever made.
So it's like 2, but more intensified with the scares.
Yeah,
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's generally like
It's
it's
in
more
your
of a horror
in your
game.
face, dude. I mean, it is in your face, scary. And like, you know, in a horror game when you're walking around a house and it's like creepy and like scary and like you got these little ambient noises and stuff, and you don't know if you go into this room because you got to go into this room because you got to look around to find something because you know you're looking for something, you don't know what yet, but you know if you go in this room something might happen.
And then
right?
you realize it's a game and nothing can hurt you.
No,
Yeah.
that's
Hey,
not
John,
true.
I played.
I'm immersed.
John, I said I'll play it, buddy. I said I'll play it. I haven't played it. That's all.
Yeah, I'm
Doesn't mean I
immersed.
No, it's
man.
really good, Psycho. Like every time I
just-
play it, I'm like, oh, this is scary, but it's really good. So,
My problem is there's so many games I want to start into and get in, and it's just like I get like 3-bit, not 3-bit. I get like Pong. I get little nibbles here. Then I got it. Oh, what's this over here? And my OCD is horrible, and like ADD. And I'm like, oh, what's this?
Yeah.
Ooh, what's this? And I'm over here. I got like 15 games I got running right now, and I'm like, fuck, I don't have time to finish all these. The guy just finished a couple of them, but I'm like, motherfucker.
yeah, I'm trying to make like checklists now of different games.
You have
like,
to. With Game Pass, you
Yeah.
have to sit there like, all right, I have to do this from A to B and finish this goddamn story.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now I'm trying to beat Hades, and oh my gosh.
Yeah, with those
God,
games,
killing me.
man,
Hades is fun.
you can spend like 1,000 hours sometimes,
kills me.
you know. John says updates, but no ray tracing, bro. Terrifying? LOL, you guys need to boss up. Hey, John, come on, man. All right. No, yeah, also ray tracing. I don't know what all they updated. I assumed
They update this ray tracing. No, I'm pretty
I
sure.
thought
I'm
I
like,
remembered
For
them
7,
saying
I,
the
I think it's
word.
just HD. Basically, it's
Okay.
like a next gen patch.
I think
kind of
7
no,
had it.
I'm like 70% sure that it has.
Ray
ray
I think
tracing.
I recall them saying the word ray tracing with at least one of the games potentially.
only
but I'm not
uh,
sure.
I'm
maybe-
65%.
I thought it was 8.
Maybe
I thought it
I know
was-
there's
I
a
know
whole
8
thing on
has some ray
digital.
tracing in it.
I know there's a whole thing with Digital Foundry where there was like Final Fantasy or not Final Resident Evil 7 was held back on Xbox because they had that deal with Sony or whatever because like it could have looked better on Xbox, but I don't know if it was still with ray
Yeah,
tracing.
Yeah, Resident
'cause
Evil
that whole-
ray tracing upgrade comes to 7, 2, and 3.
Aha!
Ah.
I should have stayed with my 70%. See, I doubted myself.
Oh,
It has ray tracing.
that's what this says anyway. It says ultimately, like this is from Eurogamer. Ultimately, while the ray tracing could have been better, RE7's patch delivers. Right, so it does have some ray tracing in there. So we weren't talking out of our ass.
Yeah, IGN even says it. It says announced
Okay.
at Capcom's summer showcase, add support for 4K, high frame rate, ray tracing, 3D audio.
Yeah.
And it said that Xbox could be better, but it held back because of the PS5.
Awesome.
Oh, that's what Eurogamer said.
No, IGN.
Oh, IGN's there.
Oh, what? IGN?
No,
There's a Psycho
No,
saying that.
like-
Psycho's saying that.
Like, what?
I said that, but you almost
Oh,
got
okay.
it.
Okay,
But it
got
sounded plausible. That's how crazy it sounded plausible.
I almost believed you for a second.
The other little thing,
True.
guys, Xbox is doing well in Japan again.
Oh, we're going with
What?
the October games.
What?
Well, I mean, is there another one you wanted to mention, Jasper?
I don't know.
Oh.
You said Call of Duty Scorn.
Scorn.
Oh, yeah.
Forspoken.
Modern Warfare 2.
Well, Forspoken's on PlayStation.
yeah.
Modern Warfare 2.
Scorn.
Yeah, we can talk about that. We can talk about Scorn, guys.
Scorn. Yeah.
I'm not buying Modern Warfare 2 anymore.
So, all right, are we gonna go? Let's go into Scorn first because this
Yeah.
way it goes from scary, squishy noises. Then we can finish with Modern
All right.
Warfare. So,
All right, let's
to
talk
me,
about it.
I like Scorn. I like the H.I. Geiger theme, and the crazy. It's all ambient noise. There's no dialogue. So if everybody is upset with like the Starfield not having their protagonist speaking, well, this game has zero dialogue. So if
You're in
you're
an alien
if you,
world.
if you want dialogue, Scorn's not for you. Sorry. But if you want really cool atmosphere that scares the shit out of you because you don't know what's going to be coming around the corner, if your little thing fits in this hole,
What?
Pause.
Yeah, your little gun. It goes
Uh-huh.
goes in the hole.
Resume.
Gun in the hole.
And then it comes in the hole, and then you gotta
Oh my gosh.
work it. You gotta work it, and it's like a key. So so the the door opens and
Eating the chastity
whatever
belt.
else. I don't know if you get one, but no, it just looks. I love the environment. I love the artwork that this H.R. Geiger.
I bet you love
If
the environment.
you love aliens and all that, this is for you. This is what we've horror fans kind of like and we dig. So
And teeth bullets.
yeah, see,
I mean,
No,
I'm
I'm all for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Fuzzy.
No, I was gonna say I just whenever you see something that looks like it's like a half-eaten alien crawling towards you and you don't know what to shoot it with and you gotta reach into the mouth of something and put what looks like teeth in your gun to shoot the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems up my alley as far as a weird horror sci-fi kind of game. So
well, they said
definitely
go into this game not expecting to shoot her. It's more just like survival walking around. It's not going to be too much shooting. They said
kind of like Resident Evil 2. That
like
was
it has shooting,
very
but
limited.
Everything's like Resident Evil 2 on this show.
It's
that's
more
what
about the
I'm just kidding.
And
what it feels like. That's what I played.
Yeah,
that's the game I can compare it with because I played it.
it's kind of, I guess, more like Alien Isolation in that way, where like you get a flamethrower and that's about it, and then you use it like twice.
But you mostly use the weapons to like slow the creatures down, not really kill it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this game. I've been talking about it since it was revealed, and they have like older videos people can check out. Like they've been working on this game for a long time. There's like I'm pretty sure it was a Kickstarter project years ago, and they had an initial version that they were gonna launch to people, and they're like, no, we could probably push the envelope on the fidelity, and so they've been working on it for many years, and I love H.R. Geiger's work. It's really creepy, and I think a lot of his work, if H.R. Geiger's thing was everything's alive, so the walls are alive, the floors are alive. So when you play Scorn, literally everything is alive. The guns that he uses are like these weird worm things. The bullets he uses are like, ugh, it's disgusting, but it's awesome. And I'm looking forward to it. And it's going to be slower. So I have a feeling what a lot of reviewers are going to say, and IGN is very famous for just giving things a 7, and I'm pretty sure they're going to give Scorn a 7. But it's not really about the combat. It's going to be about the atmosphere. It's going to be about solving like the puzzles and stuff. It's more about the world than shooting. So a lot of people in nowadays with your Fortnites and whatever, they need constant explosions and whatnot. And like, oh, I'm dead. Let me play again. So I hope that doesn't. I don't know, for people who are used to those games, they don't shine on it because of that, because that's not what this game's mission is. Every game has a different mission for what it's trying to do, and then you basically you go on that and see if it's for you. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
it could be kind of more like Silent Hill-ish, right? From back in the day, and like you said, the earlier Resident Evils, also Psycho, like. You had a weapon, but like you're not there to shoot shit and kill stuff. Is not the primary focus. You know what I mean? I think that's what it's going to be about. They say classic survival horror, right? The thing is, like, it depends on how much if it's the type of game like what's the Outlast? Is that the name of it? Where like you got a guy constantly following you around and you got to keep avoiding him. I can't play those games, right? The first one of those games I played was called Clock Tower back on PlayStation 1. And I couldn't play that game, even though it was a stupid little guy with scissors walking down a hallway. You know, it was like, but you would go and hide. PT, yeah, I did.
Okay.
and that was very tense and crazy too. Like me and Kate played that together. She loved watching me play. We had helped try to figure out the puzzles, but that one was more like trying to figure out what to do, like without like really a fear of something necessarily hurting you. Right? Yeah. That one, it was more of just like, what weird shit am I about to see? You know what I mean? Like this one, I feel like you're going to be, it could be a good cross between a bunch of genres. But yeah, it's gross looking, man. It's just, somebody in the chat said it's like, it's moist. Yeah. The game just looks wet.
He's just H.R. Geiger's known for his biomechanical art. That's what he is. So for people that don't know.
Yeah, like Aliens.
Yeah, this like screams it. I just love it. It's just it's one of those games that like Kate will sit in the bedroom and be like, I hear it, turn it off. And there'll be the other room, and she's like, I just don't like the the noises that it's making. Because those things, like, really, you're hearing those little cackles and the chattering, and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah, and it's just like, and then you're trying to turn in the keys and the holes, and they're making different type of noises, and it's nuts. It's honestly, a whole mind fuck. If you had headsets,
I feel like Mav gets more scared about that kind of stuff than me.
Yeah,
like,
handle like
if we watch a scary movie and then shut the TV off to go to bed, he'll pretty much beg me to turn the TV back on.
Yeah. I can't stand that feeling of not like I don't know. It's something
you gotta
about
watch some Teletubbies after.
The anticipatory feeling. No, but sometimes she don't want to watch nothing lighthearted. Like I'm down with that, right? Like, okay, let's watch some fucking Thundercats. I don't fucking know anything. Like YouTube videos, something. But like we'll just literally see fucking some crazy ass shit that fucks with your brain, you know, and then time to have it pitch black in here while I'm not even tired because I'm shocked by what I just saw and lay in the dark when no, I can't.
No, I get it.
I can't do that.
I haven't watched horror movies for years.
Yeah.
Like this year has been the first time I've watched like all these horror movies I'm like catching up on that
you won't watch Annabelle.
I won't watch Annabelle.
Annabelle?
No.
Oh, I love fucking Annabelle.
We won't watch it.
It is terrifying, yeah. I watched Texas Chainsaw the other day.
I like Conjurings. Yeah, she's like.
We haven't watched the latest one though.
I didn't see the latest one, but I like the other. I like the Conjurings.
Have you seen
Conjuring? The Nun.
Oh, we haven't seen the Nun, but I'd easily watch the Nun.
I bought that. That's the mask I bought. Was the Nun?
Yeah,
that one year.
I have no issue with the Nun, but I don't fuck with little dolls that get possessed. Okay.
Oh yeah, Annabelle. I've seen all the Annabelles. They're fucking awesome.
Chucky terrified me when I was a kid.
I love Chucky.
When I was little, like Chucky, no, fuck that little thing. I didn't want to see it. I had weird nightmares and shit as a kid too. Like that's why I won't watch it. Fuck it can go fuck himself. Like I don't want to deal with that thing.
Well,
I can't even look at a picture. Can't even look at a picture, bro.
Have you seen the new It?
I haven't watched it because I refuse. Like
I haven't seen any It. The older one.
I like so it kind of follows exactly how the Stephen King old It. It's the two parts. The kids are young and then it splits.
Super good.
Kids are older.
One of the best horror movies for sure.
But the guy that plays It, holy crap!
Can we stop talking about It? Right?
He does like his little eye that's just like like it looks like the other way, and he does that on cue. That's him. That's not CG. That's him.
He knows how to control his eyes.
Well, thanks, Psycho. I'm never gonna fucking.
So Call of Duty is also coming out on the 28th of October.
Thanks, Jasper. Yeah, thanks.
Speaking of that, if that Bethesda deal, not Bethesda, but the fucking what is it, Blizzard?
Activision Blizzard.
If that goes through, could it be going to Game Pass?
I doubt. I think it's before then, but
I think as soon as that deal goes through, it'll pop up in Game Pass.
Yeah. It also depends on contracts Sony signed with Call of Duty, probably too. There may be like a year marketing thing.
I'm not playing. I'm not buying Modern Warfare. I've decided. I think what was it? 3 shows ago, I said, "Yeah, I'm really excited to try this game," and then like my Modern Warfare won't work, so I changed my mind.
No, Tim Curry did a great job, John. I agree.
I didn't know Tim Curry was the original Pennywise.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Tim Curry.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, you can't beat the originals on a lot of things.
I still think he's probably
We all
scarier
float down here, Georgie.
than New York.
Georgie.
If I have a like traumatizing moment tonight when I'm asleep that brings me back to my childhood, I'm blaming you guys. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I didn't do
I'm
that.
gonna be right
Just
next
get a
to
red
you.
balloon. Just get a red balloon tonight. Fancy.
Oh,
We all float down here, Georgie.
Hey, at this point, it's not me. It's definitely.
Yeah, this is on me.
Isn't that the movie where the older chick like fucked all the kids in the sewers?
What?
Wow.
No, that's Toxic Avenger. Wrong movie. Dude.
No, I'm pretty sure that's in it. Like the older chick out of the group like fucked the kids in the sewer.
Oh
No,
wow.
I don't remember kids fucking in sewers.
I think you're talking about the book version that they did
The
not do
deleted
for the movie.
scenes.
There was like this
Yeah.
crazy moment. We're not even going to talk about.
Oh,
it, but
okay.
they took
That
out-
was a novel.
Yeah, it was in the novel. Yeah.
So it was in a book, not the movies.
Bizarre.
Yeah, that I remember.
And why would you remember that, Jasper?
Because it's so fucked up.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Chris Jones
What we
with
got
the
to you, buddy?
$2 super chat says, I always watch TV as I fall asleep. I prefer watching TV as I fall asleep. Kate likes no TV when she falls asleep. It's a constant battle in our relationship
That I win.
that she wins. She does. That as Shizno says, that was the porn spinoff.
Yeah, Jasper, you're getting it too.
No, that's source
But-
material, buddy. It's straight from the book.
Yeah, Stephen
Right,
King,
that's the
man.
book,
Right, Stephen
not the
King.
movie.
There's a lot of Stephen King movies I love, you know.
If that was actually in the Stephen King book, I'm surprised they would allow it to ever be made a movie.
Oh, trust me.
Even,
yeah,
though-
most
even if they
King-
didn't put it in the movie. Even if they didn't put it in the movie. That's fucked.
No,
Yeah.
because it's kids with kids, not adults with kids.
Oh,
difference.
okay.
That's the
That makes it
difference.
okay.
But-
Well, I mean, the
Yeah.
kids weren't like
Boom.
10. They weren't 10, 9,
Oh,
10-year-olds. They
We can
were
Move on.
17-year-old and
Yes.
like, 15
we're moving on. We're moving
Okay,
on.
Back to Call of Duty, by the way.
I'm excited about it.
I bet you are.
We're definitely gonna get it, right, babe?
Oh yeah, hands down.
In
I'm
Game
more
Pass.
excited about this one since I found out that they're doing Modern Warfare again, and turns out the Modern Warfare was really good. It was the best Call of Duty in like a decade for me. So this is the sequel to that now, another Infinity Ward game. This is the year I'm hoping Call of Duty really gets back on their feet, because the last two games didn't really do it for me, you know.
Is that Boom?
You didn't like what was it?
Cold War.
I keep on wanting to call it Vagabond, but what was it, Vanguard?
No, I did. I tried all the
Yeah,
demos and the
Echo.
trials, and they did the free weekend stuff, and it's just like, I don't know.
I played.
It feels like a step back, a big step
It
back
was.
for me.
Multiplayer was a huge step back. Campaign was it was buggy.
I
It
will
was
say,
like-
if you're a Zombies fan, Vanguard just got a pretty decent update. If you're like a classic Call of Duty Zombies fan, they added Sheena Numa.
Yeah.
Was one of the classic
Yeah.
zombie maps. So
Now,
Hmm.
Zombie was good on Vanguard, but
no, the original
play it.
Zombies that came out was garbage because you just played on a multiplayer
don't.
map and then teleported to other multiplayer maps.
I don't play Zombie, so I didn't experience it too much. I'm not a fun.
I'm too scared to play zombies. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding. I'm not. That zombie mode is like too frantic and stuff. It's like not. I don't find it really fun. You know, like I like the pure multiplayer on COD. You know, like team deathmatch, the search and destroys, and like stuff like that.
Kill Confirmed is my favorite.
Kate likes Kill Confirmed a lot. I just the last Modern Warfare game was so good. I have a lot of high hopes for not just for this multiplayer, but the campaign. Also, the last campaign on Modern
Hello,
Warfare
Bloom.
was excellent.
Hey
Um,
Bloom, happy anniversary.
Oh, it's their anniversary today.
Yes.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to you and your lovely wife, Mrs. Boomstick.
You suck.
I know I do. I'm sorry. But yeah, Modern Warfare 2 gonna be a big game. Yeah, if the deal were to happen before then, if it was to get finalized, then it would be in Game Pass. But the thing is, like, as soon as it does go through, it'll be in Game Pass, like within probably a couple weeks.
Right. Right.
So the interesting thing is like they've already said like everything that they can put in Game Pass are going to put in Game Pass. The only reason would be if there is still some kind of marketing deal with Sony, but we haven't seen any of the Sony branding on anything with Call of Duty so far this year. You know, that was a big omission when they had.
Well, they got the beta first.
They got the beta first. That's the only thing. But they have not seen a PlayStation logo on a trailer. PlayStation has not had it at their events. And then there was also the footage of them talking about all their marketing deals, and Call of Duty wasn't on that list either. Right. So maybe somehow, like, just because the beta thing was still like it's some kind of development thing, you know what I mean, that they were working on.
Yeah. Part of their contract, like all the betas, we get first dibs. So they're like, fine, you can have that. But they're probably going to talk about, like, for it to come to Game Pass, you know, they have that stipulation. This stipulation is no longer, we can't keep that contract with you, Sony. So for Modern Warfare 2 to come to Game Pass, it's going to. You can have it. You can have them, you know, the rights to it for the media, not media rights, but for the beta and stuff like that. Well, things are the marketing. Thank you. The marketing rights could change a little bit with that aspect, but they probably did say we're cutting. It can't be on, you know, on Game Pass out. If you want the marketing rights, you can still have it, but it's going to Game Pass regardless.
Usually, Call of Duty has like an exclusive like PlayStation mode every year too, and they also get like a special gun like every like couple months too. Every time
you get their own mode or skin or something.
Yeah. So they might keep
XP on theirs too.
Yeah, so they might keep that for, you know, with the talks with Microsoft, with Xbox and Sony, but but the whole thing with keeping it off Game Pass, whatever that language is, they probably said no. That ends now. If you want that marketing stuff still, here it is.
I mean, it's possible. Like if I was PlayStation, knowing about the Activision deal, I would really take advantage of that and get as much deals in as I can before they became exclusive. So I don't know. Maybe I would.
But then we would have seen PlayStation's name on the stuff already if that was the case, right? You know what I mean?
But like, I think but
maybe it's one of those deals they don't want to advertise for, you know, what's like almost like a known entity now, with some of the stores saying, oh, if you're buying Call of Duty, make sure you get the right console and stuff like that. So they might just want to be like, hey, we still get the rights on the beta, like you guys said, and stuff like that, and some of the perks. But then they're like, we shouldn't really push it because people are going to be like, oh, that's an Xbox game. Because that's what everybody's going to be thinking probably around the holidays anyway.
Yeah, there's power in that with Call of Duty. Like, the casual market is very heavily into Call of Duty. So
yeah, well,
I don't know. I based on our last show and what we were kind of speculating on it, I think Sony does still have some deals with this game. At least it was leaked to have some sort of deals. I think Jasper was looking at like there's this Call of Duty channel, Twitter, whatever, that they usually cover Call of Duty news, and they're usually accurate, like pretty accurate.
I think that was with the demo, right? The beta beta first,
but
right?
that leads me to believe. Yeah, it was like Charlie Fox something. That leads me to believe that they still have some sort of deal. And I mean, I would love for them to they buy Activision. I get all the Call of Duty games, but also right now I can't even play Call of Duty, so I'm kind of salty, and I don't care either way. But I think Sony is going to have some deals still ongoing, with the purchase of Activision Blizzard. I think there's still going to be some ongoing deals, and then once this game is over, then maybe there's nothing after that. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. Because when you think about marketing rights, it's not just like, hey, I'm going to make a trailer or the demo. Usually it's a little bit more
more involved.
like
some in-game.
skins.
But if we look at it in perspective as to every year before, right?
Well, yeah, no.
PlayStation's logo was on those things, and it's not this time.
Yeah,
right.
No, yeah. PlayStation wasn't plastered anywhere other than the demo, like you said. So it's interesting. Things are changing,
and they did not even make that a public announcement yet. I don't believe. I think that was just listed on the thing, and they even said like things could change or whatever. But like, it's here's the thing. Here's why I was thinking potentially the demo or beta could still be coming to PlayStation first, is because that's where they were with the process of development, right? And that's the normal development cycle, and they haven't switched over yet, making Xbox lead development platform.
I feel like that's right, because the beta is just a week early, pretty much.
Just a week, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it was like 2 weeks.
In the marketing, if you read the terms of service, they have 14 days early access for beta, so they have up to 2 weeks to play it early.
Right, and that's still the case with this game, right?
Yeah.
Because I forget if it was Vanguard or
it might be 10 days. It's either
Cold
14
War
or 10 days. I don't remember.
Was almost, I think, like 2 weeks. They had like 2 weekends playing.
Yeah,
it was PlayStation only, and then the last week was Xbox was involved, and then it was 3 weeks total, and that was it. Xbox was only able to play 1 weekend, I should say, not weekend.
But we didn't see anything regarding PlayStation at all at the Call of Duty announcement or at the Summer Game Fest when they showed the campaign, right?
Yeah, and usually they have their plastic.
The branding is in there, you know, because it's part of their marketing deal, right? So regardless of anything, the stipulations of the marketing have changed. Either like I saw somebody in the chat said maybe PlayStation doesn't want to be associated with it anymore, knowing that it's going to be Xbox. So they actually asked for them to take off.
They've done that in the past, haven't they? Like with Deathloop, like they knew it was going to happen. They still put it in their show. Also because
they even did state of plays
of other stuff.
For Ghostwire Tokyo, they did a whole state of play for it, right? And Deathloop, I think.
Yeah,
Deathloop. And
well, COD's always kind of marketed their own streams, so like it being on a PlayStation stage would still be kind of weird, though.
Yeah, but it's not just the fact that it's not on a PlayStation stage; it's just that the logos are gone from the trailers.
Yeah, I was just saying that, like, it being on a PlayStation stage doesn't mean anything, because Call of Duty's in the past has done it themselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that in itself.
Themselves, they would have PlayStation logos.
I'm just saying there's got to be something to why those logos aren't there. Right?
Yeah, there definitely is.
Like, why are they not there when they're there every year?
Exactly. We'll find out soon. You know,
once the ink dries.
I'm still hoping. I'm still saying I think it's going to be maybe like a late October, November that we possibly get a Activision deal signed up, but that's just me. I'm saying because it's after what, June, that it is technically their fiscal year. So July through next year's June is that new fiscal year. So we can see it any time close from that point. Doesn't mean it has to be 2023 June to 2023. That's when the deal ends. It could end from now to that time. So we have a year from now up to that point. That deal can finish up anytime. If the FTC don't find nothing and they're like, it's not even worth to try to block this deal, let's put some little stipulations here and there, and they could sign up the deal and we could get it like early. That's why I'm still thinking like in October, maybe November.
Xbox would love for that to happen. I'm thinking it's probably more like early next year sometime, you know what I mean? But like,
we'll see.
Regardless, like knowing that I just have a feeling as soon as it's done, like with what's going on, as soon as the deal's done, regardless if it's after or whatever, most likely after that game as well as the others will be in Game Pass, like within a few weeks. I think it'll be like the Bethesda ZeniMax,
get that FPS treatment and get all that.
Yeah, that's something else. Do you think that they'll reopen the whole back catalog FPS boost conversation? They did say they were done, right? But they said that before they spent $70 billion on an acquisition that has a massive back catalog, right?
They also said like they were dealing with a bunch of like exclusive, like rights issues with a lot of stuff. of their catalog of games. But now that they have Activision, which has a huge history and library of different games, from like Crash Bandicoot to like all the Call of Duty games, I think, or Tony Hawk and stuff like that, I think it would be worth going and starting up that team again, because I know that team's, from what I know, is inactive. They're working on other stuff, but I think it would be worth starting that team back up to FPS boost those titles and bring them back as another initiative to sort of help out with backwards compatibility. Yeah, they basically stopped doing backwards compatibility, which is kind of sad, but they've done a lot. But
yeah, well, they said they stopped because of the the music has rights, it has voice actors, all these little stipulations that they have to do. It's just not like the IP licensing. It's voice actors. It's all that.
Also, a lot of publishers just don't want them to do it, right?
Yeah. So now
some publishers are gone now. So
well, that's with that. So it could be something stupid as a voice actor saying, "I want to be paid if you want to make this," and they're like, "We're doing this for free on our end. We're not looking to make money. They're just doing this for free." And that could be also why it hung up on a lot of games that we think should be in Game Pass, like a lot of JRPGs from the 360 era that should be here, and then they're not. And it could be something like that. But with Activision, those games, if they don't have no licensing issues, they could very well be all there with FPS boost, and because what's out and what they can do, they've touched. Activision, these games, they could look into like, what can we do, and reopen and give us all these new games. We're gonna get Tony Hawk Underground 1 and 2 into Game Pass that came out a couple of years ago. I haven't played that yet. I'm really excited about that. So there's so many things that with this deal has got, that Spyro the Dragon. There's just so much that is coming into Game Pass that people are not seeing. That outside of Call of Duty, all they see is Call of Duty. You got all the freaking Blizzard stuff. You got all these other studios are outside of Call of Duty that used to work on a lot of stuff. Possibly, the Transformer games. They don't sell them. Possibly we could see something.
Are those back compat? I don't think they are.
The licensing might be an issue on those things, for sure.
But with Xbox, they can look into what is keeping it hung up. Was it just Activision, or was it more? So they can address what games they got, and then we can have a better idea later with Jason Ronald and their team, the fucking wizards that they are.
I think we'll only get Game Pass games that are already back compat. They're not going to add new back compat games just for Game Pass. I don't think.
You don't think so? I think they will. When they said that they were done with the back compat program and that was going to be the last batch, that was before they spent $70 billion on another publisher, right?
Yeah, and but most of Activision games are already back compat though.
Are they? Are they going to add?
Underground is Tony Hawk Underground.
You have 20 plus Call of Duties that are.
Call of Duties are,
but the Call of Duties,
but they're not.
I know you have. I know you do have a lot, but I'm saying there could be some that you could find in there and bring them back. Now the other thing is FPS boost could be something that they could look into as well, and also like some of the like resolution updates and stuff like that they've done for free on other games. That's stuff that they've kind of like moved on from because they wanted to tackle other things. But when you have such a large library that you're bringing in, and you may have interest in revitalizing some of these IPs in the future, ones that are not on the platform, it might make sense to, hey, can we bring this onto the platform and have it there, bring it back with the FPS boost and like a res update, stuff like that. It's just a hypothetical. I think it's possible. I wouldn't say it's not going to happen, right? But you are right. There are a lot of Activision games, right, that are back compat. So maybe there's not as many that I'm thinking that they could bring back, but I think there's some.
I want my Tony Hawk Underground.
I mean, you're not going to get like Deadpool or Transformers.
Not the licensed games.
No, not the licensed.
You're not going to get the licensed games.
No, but the IPs that they own, I think they will experiment to kind of test the waters to see if there's enough interest. So something like a True Crimes or something like that. If they're going to, reboot that series, they would focus on like up-resing or FPS boost or something like that, and getting that game in there. And if enough people, if they see enough people playing it or talking about it and stuff like that, then they'll be like, all right, let's greenlight this project next, and then kind of go through their catalog of stuff that way, kind of deal.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm curious if they'll do that, and they kind of did it with Elder Scrolls and stuff, and with some of the Bethesda things after that acquisition. It was kind of like some of the last stuff they did, right? So
there's none of the 360 games are FPS boost or res boost, are they? That's just back and pat for 360 games.
For what, the Bethesda games?
Just any 360 game.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I thought there was a couple of them that were FPS boost, like
I know like Fable is and stuff. Fable 3. Yeah.
There was a couple.
They've added FPS boost to some of them for sure. I just don't. I don't know which ones.
To which games? Because they added
just
quite a bit.
360 games.
Just 360 games. Yeah, Fable 3 was the biggest announcement of one, I think, that I can recall off the top of my head.
Fable, what is it? Well, Crimson Sky, I think it was not 360, but it was original Xbox. They gave that an update.
Oh, I guess because they have the auto HDR thing, but
yeah, they have auto HDR. They also have resolution upgrades for like original Xbox games. But I think some of the 360 games got boosted.
New Vegas.
Oh, okay.
Oblivion.
For some reason, I didn't think they'd do that for any 360 game.
Yeah.
No, they could. That's why Jason Ronald was like really excited for some of the games. He's like, I don't think we could, and they were able to pull it off, and they're like, holy crap. So,
let's see. I got a super chat from Lord Roughness. Appreciate you, Lord Roughness. £2 super chat, dude. Appreciate you. He says, you're onto something. Sony's name being removed. Oh yeah, it's not there, right? And that's all we know. I mean, we don't know anything more than that, but it's not there.
And I could sort of go back and forth on it because traditionally, I think we did check, and I think it was in the previous trailers, but I don't know. It's also weird because we do know that Sony does have the rights for the demo, but I think this is an early indication that Sony might be more hands-off with Xbox properties. Maybe they learned something from Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, and they're applying it here, or maybe
I think it's just Sony doesn't want to market a competitor's product. I mean,
but they did it with Deathloop. They had a whole state of play for Deathloop.
And Ghostwire. Yeah,
and Ghostwire Tokyo.
So that's what I was thinking too. But like when you put in that perspective, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, but you don't see like trailers on like TV with those games, do you? It was just at their state of play. Really.
Yeah.
And this.
No, I saw trailers on.
Deathloop I saw everywhere. It was actually annoying how much I saw Death. It was like in every ad. It was like in every Game Awards show. Ghostwire not as much.
Plus, it was on the fine. Was it the Super Bowl? Not the before the Super Bowl and all the championship games. Deathloop was freaking everywhere.
Deathloop was everywhere. So
I'm
wondering if Sony learned something from that, or if this is an indication that maybe their marketing rights don't go as far as it has in the past.
Well, I mean, it's also not an exclusive, like, or timed exclusive like Deathloop or Ghostwire Tokyo was, right? So like these are more of a multi-platform game, but because it's multi-platform, it's like, why wouldn't you still have your marketing on it? Because it's still going to be available. I don't know. I don't know the reasoning.
I mean, Call of Duty is a huge game. Like, people would go to buy an Xbox or a PlayStation depending on what they get out of Call of Duty. Like, people have literally flocked to PlayStation because of Destiny. They're like, oh, even though it's multi-platform, they're like, oh, we're getting exclusive content in Destiny. I'm gonna go to PlayStation. Like, they would go for that reason. So.
But looking back, if Bungie was owned by Xbox at that point in time, and it was one of those things where they kind of let the deal go, and people knew, oh well, Destiny's owned by Xbox, people would probably, even with the marketing aspect, they would probably still wind up buying it on Xbox. And I really think Sony is afraid to push it just because of that association. Like it's kind of becoming that known amongst the casuals that Xbox is going to be the new home for Call of Duty. So if you push it and people are like, "Oh yeah, that's right, Call of Duty's coming out in October," and they're not thinking get a PS5, they're thinking, "Oh, I'll get a Series S or Series X," because that's
I just had this. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, they'll just get that Xbox console. But no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I just thought of that moment when they first announced that like Xbox is going to be purchasing Activision Blizzard, and that Phil was saying like, oh, we just got on a phone call with Sony, and we had a really good talk.
You remember because Sony had put something out publicly saying like,
we expect them to honor.
We expect them to honor their obligations and stuff like that, right? And then Phil made that post saying that he had a talk with them and that their plan is to still bring Call of Duty to everything. I wonder if there's a potential about the relinquishment of marketing rights at that conversation.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I just thought about it because I want, at some point, I want Xbox to be petty somewhere. Okay, they're very like the good guy in a lot of the situations, which is cool. And it's not really a console war or anything. I don't really see it as a console war. I see it as more just like a Final Fantasy thing. Like they're doing it to you, but Xbox being like, oh, it's okay, it's fine, you can have it. I don't know. I just want somewhere just for Xbox to be like, yes, as an Xbox gamer, you've invested in our ecosystem. Here are some things for Game Pass that you can do, you know. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just thinking about it too hard. But like, I just thought about that meeting, and then I thought in contrast of what Sony tends to do with its exclusives. Like they tried to buy Starfield. They tried to, literally, they're keeping Final Fantasy. I mean, multiplat, whatever. But, yeah, I just thought about it in contrast where Xbox has a whole different philosophy. And maybe that philosophy it doesn't matter at the end of it because Xbox, as we were talking about, is killing it in Japan. So maybe they would need to do any of that stuff. But yeah, this is something I think about from time to time. You know, I ponder, I wonder.
Okay.
I just want to say real quick that I put the FPS boost list of games in our chat, and there is quite a bit 360 games that got FPS boost, like Assassin's Creeds, Dead Space 2, 3, Deus Ex.
Those are the remastered Assassin's Creeds, though. Xbox One versions.
Assassin's Creed 1 is not remastered. The Assassin's Creed Ezio collection is not remastered.
Yeah, it's an Xbox One game though.
The Ezio collection I think was on Xbox One. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, cause I just thought Ezio collection came out in 360, but it could be Xbox One. But it's the first Assassin's Creed is 360. Dead Island Definitive Edition was 360, I believe, or no, was that Xbox One?
That's probably Xbox One as well.
Dead Space 2. Dead Space 3, Fables, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah. Okay, I just couldn't think if there was 360 games. It's just
there's Camino. That's a game I haven't played in a while. I'll have to check that out.
So you could maybe see like a prototype with FPS boost or something like that. Who knows? I mean,
yes, I would love to see that.
It'd be interesting. Like I'm just saying, like we don't know. Like I would find it worthwhile. It wouldn't be like a long-term commitment, right? Okay, you got this huge library. Go see like what are like a chunk of ones that would be worthwhile doing, and then just do those, right? And then move on back to your regularly scheduled operations. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like been their MO with their other acquisitions and stuff too. You know, they've kind of went back to the IPs and stuff and updated them and everything. You know. So I think it's very possible. But besides that, we also have more tech stuff to get into. Oh my gosh, it's already been 2 hours. Holy shit. We were just talking about the games coming this holiday.
Well, we talked about watermelon for 30 minutes.
That's true. We did.
Yeah, we did.
So refreshing.
But I wanted to get into this article from Jez Corden from Windows Central, and the link is in the description below, guys, because it's a really interesting article, and something that a lot of us have been talking about and thinking about for a while, about like this next generation and like where things are going with gaming in the future, like cloud technology, machine learning, and all of this stuff. And I'm not a super tech guy, so I don't understand a whole lot of it. But if you look at this article by Jez, he does a great job of breaking down, you know, like what's coming for the future. And it's called How Machine Learning AI is Going to Change Gaming Forever. For Microsoft and Xbox, the sky will no longer be the limit. Psycho, I know you kind of dove into this before, right? Like, what are some of the big takeaways, you know, from like what they're doing and how it's going to make some changes?
Well, it's interesting because machine learning is just more than just, you know, AI with NPCs that, you know, because when we think of machine learning, we're thinking, okay, it's going to be with it changing how NPCs are interacting with us. Because before it's like it was a root paragraph, or not paragraph, but a root paradigm where it goes, we have to tell source codes like this is what you do for the NPCs, and they're very limited to what engagement and what could be done. Now with machine learning is they can almost free think with parameters. So you just put in certain parameters and they can actually free think for themselves, almost to the point where the dialogue could be different depending on the what mission is, what quest you're on. So it's just really, really interesting on what machine learning is going to be will change with at least gaming in the NPC aspect of things.
Yeah, because also with the game development, right? Like for way like a lot of this article is talking about is like making it easier for devs to make the games better and bigger and look more even crazier. Like they're talking about making fidelity leap almost to the point of like from going 2D to 3D, right? Like with just like that sense of like realism and stuff that's going to be capable more than ever before. It's about using like AI to basically make games, right? And do a lot of the handcrafted work that a lot of like people would have to sit there and do before, right? Like 3-bit, you'd take like 1,000 3-bits to go there and like model these like super high detailed characters and stuff. But like when you have this AI that is making things easier for you to do, that is kind of what it's about. And 3-bit, do you like, have you seen any of this stuff going on? Like I know there's been a lot of talk because I've seen people, I've even had conversations with people and DMs and stuff about this kind of stuff, that they're starting to hear things from developers and stuff about this next step, and it's truly mind-blowing. Have you seen any kind of glimpse at that yet?
I've seen a lot of small glimpses of different tools, and that it's usually how it starts off is they developers or someone tries it in like a small game, a demo of something, and that spans into features later on, like throughout time. And that's happened with a lot of features in game development. Is like they'll do it in a small game, and then someone reiterates on that. I mean, if you go back in games like the older Fable, you'll see like a lot of games back then had like that bloom effect, right? That's until they figured out how to do like HDRI lighting and stuff like that. But what's interesting to me about machine learning is right now the local side of it is impressive. Like you can tell an engine like an AI, you basically can tell like, hey, go open that cabinet, go do these things, and then over time it'll learn like, okay, if I open this I'll get something, yada yada yada. Like that's the cool part of it. But what's interesting is now that's the local part of it. But now you have this other layer on top with the cloud. So with machine learning, not only can you tell it locally what to do, you can be like, okay, if you don't know what to do, here's like a search engine results of the million other things that you can do based on like data of people opening cabinets online or something like that. It will take data on the cloud, so it's pretty much limitless. And there's already examples of this where if you want to see what it's doing right now, you can type in DALL-E, and that's in the article.
Yes.
Yeah, we were playing around with that a little bit. I created some stupid stuff using that.
Yeah. You can type in like Miley Cyrus dancing with Master Chief, and it'll create an image from it takes all the data from like different Miley Cyrus images and then a bunch of images of Master Chief, and it tries to combine them. So that's pretty much what machine learning is doing, especially with the cloud, is it's taking data. It's not limiting itself. Like right now, game development is sort of limited to what a programmer can do. Machine learning is kind of being like, no, there are no parameters. You're teaching a robot, an AI, how to do this stuff. Like you give it certain parameters in the beginning, and then you're like, okay, take it from there. So that's what machine learning is, and that's why it's so impressive, and it's pretty much the future. And Microsoft is sort of leading the way in doing a lot of this technology. I mean, they invested in OpenAI, like they bought the OpenAI code for machine learning.
Yes.
So
once you start mixing all these systems, like you get the voice AI that like just can like talk to you and have conversations. You mix that in with it. You mix the AI that creates worlds. You just mix it all together. That's when you start like actually getting like a full creation out of it instead of just like images off DALL-E.
They're not doing the same things. So the next time you talk to the AI, you can have a whole different conversation and have a whole interaction with them. And even if you go to the same, let's say you go to the same bar, there could be different people having different conversations and stuff. Because there's a snippet that if you guys don't mind, I would read. It says machine learning algorithms will supplement the construction and animation of creatures, level assets, and characters at speed and scale that simply isn't possible when you factor in labor costs. These systems won't and shouldn't replace real life developers and artists, but should instead supplement orchestry in time intensive work that can increase costs, lead to delays, and create pressure within the collaborative workflow. If you have an AI handle the animation and behavior model of simplistic background entities like a rat or a snake, this is purely for ambience. That could free up dev time. So it pretty much helps with the dev time, with it creating the level assets. So it's doing that. So like 3-bit, you can work on like the characters, like the main assets, the protagonists and things like that, while the machine learning is actually building the environment, the animals, the mouses, the rats, the snakes and birds, and how everything, but it's realistic because it's learning how the behavior of a bird is and a rat. So we'll get realistic behaviors of animals, and like when wind blows, how trees move, all that plays in a factor with this machine learning that gives us an immerse feel. And it's just, an Xbox is leading the way with this. So when
you have your I was just gonna say, you have your procedural animation, so it's not just what you're seeing it now. I think one of the earliest examples of it is probably Forza that I could think of, where they're like, oh, the cars will learn how you drive, and then they'll learn how to
Drivatars.
drive.
But, actually, I'll take it even further. 3-bit Soul Calibur 2 at the arcades. Okay, you would go and fight at the arcades of Soul Calibur 2 in the machine, and this was like in the 90s, like late 90s, right? And you would have your character you made, your play information was stored in that machine, and then when you left, other people would fight, and they would if they come across your character, like your character was supposed to behave like you fought, right?
Like the amiibos in Smash Bros.
Right, and then when you come back, you can see your progress of how your fighter did since you've been playing, and you had like a card you kept with you that had like your player data, right?
I think like the real step you'll see in this is kind of think of it kind of like those stupid like spam bots you might see on like just like Twitter where they actually have like full conversations just to like try to piss you off. Like imagine that, but like in like VR metaverse shit, like where it's like you're talking to somebody and you think it's a real person, but you have no idea because they're like moving around, they're having full conversations in VR with you.
Well,
Like,
bots are doing
imagine
that
it
on Twitter
in,
right now, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, imagine it with a game like Starfield, right? Where, or like a Skyrim or something, where you usually get like 4 options of dialogue, right? It'll be like, kill this villager, or try to make a deal with him, or bargain. Imagine like if a machine handled even infinite choices. So
Oh my god.
that's where
it gets scary.
people are
Also,
sort of
man, doesn't it?
people are like sort of being mind blown of the potential of that, because then you're getting to in a weird area where you are opening up an open world game even more, and people can't even see the potential of that.
The realistic aspect of things is just insane, because you could be sitting there and be like, hold on, that rat or that bird interacted with me. Like, let's say you try to shoot at it with a bow, and then all of a sudden this thing swoops back with a couple of his buddies, and you're like, whoa, what the hell is this? Why are they attacking me? Well, it's because you're messing with it. And just like normal in the video game, they're just circling around because that's what the developer told them to do. That's their animation. They just fly in a certain pattern. But with machine learning, that breaks down the barriers. You kind of just have like a parameter, like, okay, from here to this, whatever. Like when you wake up before you go to sleep, let's say, and everything else, the machine learns and it does whatever it wants. Okay, but it knows like, okay, after a certain amount, I have to rest or whatever. You know what I mean? So it just opens so many doors and development for games that you just
and they're using it right now for faces. Like Disney is using it for making characters look younger usually, and a couple other movie studios are starting to use machine learning to figure out how to get actors to look younger.
Yeah, there's a website that creates like actually generated people, like people that don't exist. It just makes a face and shit. And it's like, oh, that looks like a real person.
Yeah. It takes the data.
Is
it basically takes thousands of pictures or in videos of an actor, and then it drops it on to someone else.
Did you know that you're actually creating real people when you do that? It's just you don't know it. They just like show up randomly.
Now, isn't this the same way they dealt with Vader's voice in Obi-Wan?
Spoiler.
Because it was not James Earl Jones that voiced. It was a computer program that took his
hours of
likeness.
sound. Yeah.
And I think that's what when they were.
Isn't it almost like the NFT thing that Troy Baker was involved with, where like the voice actors were like going to be able to sell their like voice and vocal tones to people to be able to like use for like.
It's more like Top Gun. That happened with Top Gun, didn't it? The guy who he actually in real life,
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. He can't really speak anymore because I believe he had throat cancer, or he has like a hole in his throat.
Trachea, he has a trachea voice thing.
Yeah, so they used machine learning. Like they took hours of dialogue from all of his different films, and then had a database of what the different vowels sounds like, so that they could just drop it on to his new performance in the new film. So like that's where we're headed.
Well, he only spoke one line in the movie.
That's what they
spoiler
did.
alert again. So
I didn't see it, but I remember looking at an article and said that's what they did. They can pretty much.
That's interesting, man. I didn't know that they did that. It's got so much potential for so many different things. I think like it is like a little scary when you think about the future of AI and where everything's going. Like you talk about like 30 years from now and shit. Yeah, I mean it's like crazy. But when you think about it from a gaming perspective, it's pretty mind blowing to think like you think about something like No Man's Sky, right? How like procedural generation and stuff, and and other games have been using procedural generation for a long time. But then when you just take it to this next level in the future where it's like, okay, it's not procedural generation, it's just how the game was developed in the first place, right? Like with AI and animations and like behavioral stuff and graphics, and
15 years away from that like actually being viable for a game, because like right now with all the stuff we have, you get those like janky creations and stuff, so it's like you don't want that in a game.
Well, it would be amazing if
far away
machine learning figured out how to put everything together without bugs.
Yeah.
Right, because it's human error will be gone, right? Potentially, like.
Well, I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with fucking.
But
AI
then you have to,
I don't know.
You have to start battling. Like I would use it more for features. If you start doing for AI, like they start getting smart to the point where they're like pretty much really good pro gamers, then you have to figure out game design. Like, okay, they're a little bit too smart, so let's make it more like fun. I don't know.
Yeah, dial them back to 90% or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're like, okay, they're too smart. I can't even sneak around. Because you think about it in games, right?
Well, they do that with chess or whatever. Like there's like AI chess masters, whatever. They're like so good that no one can beat them.
Yeah. And in games, like there's certain things that don't make sense. Like you're crouching, people should obviously see you if you're on the side of them. And you're just like, but it's fun, right? You just stab them in the back like a Splinter Cell or something. But if you teach an AI to have actual awareness as a human, then that's not going to be fun.
Like, I see you,
aimbot over here.
Like I hear you crouching behind me.
You're not fooling anybody. Get from behind the box.
Like, why are you hiding in a bush?
Oh, if your AI characters that followed you and your companions in games started talking to you like a real fucking person, that would trip me out, dude.
Right?
I don't know if I'd be able to like really handle that if it was like actually interacting. Like Milo, remember Milo, Project Milo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Those little. Yeah. What if that little fucker was like that, but like even
hey,
more?
Hey Mav, how you doing? You shouldn't yell at your wife like that.
You haven't seen me in 3 days. Where have you been?
There was
playing other games.
There's some like Google employee recently that just got in trouble because he said that Google created an AI that's so sentient or whatever. Is like, and Google's like, no, we didn't, and then they just like, you don't work here anymore.
Wow. Interesting.
Like, no, it's company secrets.
No, it's just crazy what they could do, because if you just read on to the article, if you want to link it to the chat, or I could link it to the chat, just read this article. It's insane. The possibilities and the capabilities that machine learning is going to bring to gaming. It just changes just how we think.
Well, there's another problem with it, because Microsoft tried doing this a few years ago, and they gave it, like, they created an AI Twitter bot, but people were like racist, so the AI started becoming racist. So like there's a fine line where you got to like,
well, they probably put in parameters that it can't say certain things.
They create
like
the parameters.
Racial, yes. Yeah. And then it goes within the guidelines of that. It does its checks and balances before it, like, okay, I'm going to implement this in the database. And then, because imagine going playing, like, let's say we're playing Breakpoint, Ubisoft Breakpoint, and you send your characters. Oh. You send your character to help you infiltrate a base, and they actually do the shit that they're supposed to, like real people. Can you imagine? Like, oh my god, I can actually play this game by myself with when it says 4-player co-op, but I can play with AI. It's actually good because the AI can fucking think on its own, and it's not like an idiot.
It uses the AIs like looking at the ceiling and freaking.
Yeah, I could imagine with microtransactions and monetization, machine learning being used to like figure out what people are going to buy the most, and like constantly come out with random generated content. Like, and like we're all being manipulated by these fucking like AI bots to buy stuff, and we have no idea that we wanted, and they're telling it to us.
Turns out the stuff with lights that glow and flicker and are all shiny is the thing that everyone buys.
We end up buying weird shit that we never even heard of just because like it's fucking randomly. And go, oh, what is that? I've never seen that before.
All the AI in the game have new gun skins or new gear. It's like, oh yeah, that's new. Where can I get that? Oh, just go to the gear shop and put in real money. Like, what?
man, it's a crazy future. But like one thing that we can be for sure on is like Xbox, not just Xbox, but Microsoft is like way on the forefront of a lot of this stuff.
Yeah.
You know, they were always talking about the cloud, and we're like, the power of the cloud. I remember getting mocked in a GameSpot forum like back in the day. The 360 era.
Even in there?
I don't know. I just was randomly chatting. Like, this is what I did back in the day. It was like I always browsed the websites and like stuff, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be. I'm excited to see like what
I miss
crackdown,
AOL.
what the cloud is gonna be. And somebody was like, accused me of working for Microsoft, and I had like
yeah,
10.
My dad's Bill Gates.
And I had like 10 people like come after me in the forum. I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna come here again and talk to you people because I got excited about something called the cloud. You know what I mean? But like, I remember back then them being like really like, hey, this is the future, and then maybe they sell stuff a little too early sometimes and show things too early, like HoloLens with the Minecraft dungeon demos and all that kind of stuff, you know, and they, you know, they talk about like the cloud really early and stuff, and sometimes they just need to just put stuff out there and let it do its own, you know, thing. But like, they're not really talking a lot about this to the public yet. You know, with as far as
they don't want to pull what happened in
yeah, it's not like we had a machine learning section at the Xbox Bethesda showcase, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. So this is like more in articles and tech websites and stuff like that. But it's real interesting to see like potentially what could happen over the next 10, 15 years. And if we know anything, like Xbox is always about 6-7 years ahead of over the competition with this tech, right? So we're gonna see what happens. Yeah, Psycho.
Okay, so they talked about this stuff during the GameStack Live this year and last year. This year they were talking about the VRS Tier 2. So you'll see stuff like this at GameStack Live. That's like all the techie stuff.
Yeah,
I mean it's really fucking boring.
Yeah,
you don't expect to see fucking like video game announcements. No, they're talking about just straight up tech. But the stuff that they do talk about, if you listen to what they're saying and what it means to the game, it's insane. I posted a VRS 2.0 article the other day from GameStack Live. This is same stuff they're talking about machine learning at GameStack Live. It's just look up to read it, you know, and really immerse yourself. So when people so you have a better understanding of what it is, and you know that this is coming. So when you see people say stuff, you know they don't know what they're talking about. You just mute them and move on with your life. But you know, because this is what Xbox is saying. This is what Microsoft is. They are doubling down on machine learning to the point where they're opening up new jobs at Microsoft for machine learning. That's how invested they are. They're leading the forefront with machine learning, and not just gaming, just everything. So yeah, just to keep out, machine learning is going to stay.
Yeah, for sure, man. Chris Jones hit us with a $5 super chat. Says, yeah, it's crazy. I started researching trucks a while back, so all my ads and commercials are all about Dodge Ram 1500s. LOL. Yeah, what's weird is when you actually are just in natural conversation with somebody and something gets brought up, and the next time you look at your phone, there's an ad for it. So, hey,
or when you don't say anything at all and you just think of it in your mind, and then you go to your phone and see it, you're like, right. What the fuck?
So, like, if I just say something random like puppy pads, I don't know. Maybe next time I look at my phone, there'll be an ad for puppy pads, or like, what about like, I don't know why a Steam Deck, right? Maybe a Steam Deck or Valve or like PlayStation.
Weird search history.
Well, here's the thing. Like, as someone that used to do marketing for an online store for aftermarket automotive, there's certain keywords to certain apps that have paid ads will, have in like key categories. So automotive is a big one. Weddings and vacations is another. Clothing is another one. And then there's ones for like home furnishings, but usually more so like bath and bedding type stuff. So if you start talking about, oh yeah, so-and-so is having a wedding and they're going to Key West, guarantee you're going to see, like, even if your phone is in like not off, but like
if it
or
just
locked.
like this, like just stand by or whatever.
Yeah, and you have like a Facebook app or a Twitter app or you know a fairly decent social media app, like even Instagram for that matter. Your ads will start having those particular things.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going on vacation. Let's see what kind of ads we get. Right.
But yeah, it's. I hate to say it's without it sounding like conspiracy theory. It's a common practice that like companies like what I used to work for will go to Facebook and be like, hey, we want to target people that are into off-road vehicles, four-wheel drive, that go off-roading or camping and things like that. So if they mention those keywords, we have a higher chance of our ad showing to those individuals. And then based on terms of service, those apps do list in their terms of service that we can access your audio at certain times, although they don't go into the specifics of it, but you do give them access to your camera and your microphone. And
I don't think there's somebody there like sitting there listening like,
no. It's that's their version of machine learning,
right? It's like an AI thing. Trigger words, right? Like trigger words definition, like words that trigger things is just going to automatically populate certain kind of ads and stuff like that. And I mean, everything does it too. Like YouTube does it with like you're like, depending on how much you watch of certain things, they're going to recommend different things to you. Like a TikTok, if you have a longer view duration over certain things, they're going to start to show you more of those things, right? The quicker you swipe away from things, they're going to give you less of that. Like it's just the way the world has kind of gotten with that kind of stuff. It's really interesting though if you bring that kind of stuff and learning behavior into game development, right? Like that's really cool, where you get to see like, okay, how badass graphically can we make this building look using machine learning, right? What kind of details, can we put in?
All right, we're talking about this machine learning. I put something on Twitter about machine learning, and I'm being followed by a data scientist on Twitter. What the fuck?
Yeah, interesting.
I want to see what you do, man.
They're listening always, folks.
Well, let's get everybody out of here. I know you've been quiet for a little while, babe. I don't know if you're still there right now, because I figured you probably weren't too interested in that conversation. But if you are there, where can everybody find you? That's a no. Psycho.
All right.
Mellow fellow, bro. Where can everybody find you, man?
Well, chat, thanks for coming out. You guys are fantastic. Don't forget, you can find me everywhere, social media, Psychonauts 8. But Wednesday is our last Fun Pop episode, starting at 10 o'clock Eastern. Come out, say your farewells with us. We'll have a great time. We'll see who's going to show up that day. But, thank you for 55 or 54. Will be 55 episodes. And it was fantastic. Thank you, guys. And you can find me here every Friday at 9 o'clock with the great set of panelists that we have here. And I want to say, love you guys, and we'll see you around.
Yeah, man. You too, dude. Thanks for being part of Fun Pop and everything we got going on here, as always. 3-Bit, thanks for gracing us with your presence today, man. And your knowledge over game development and stuff like that. Where can everybody find you?
Everyone can find me on Twitter at i3bit. I've been posting more of my stuff here and there, different commercials and stuff I've worked on, so look out for that. And as Psycho was saying, check out the last episode of Fun Pop. It's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fun one. Yeah, I I really like that show, and so far I am going to be on FSP, and I make Ultimate when I can, so just look out for that and see what you guys can do. But love you guys. Thanks for checking this out. Everybody in chat, it's been awesome. You guys have had a really awesome conversations and stuff, and I've been looking at it. So Tony, Sappho, everybody who's came tonight, you guys are awesome. So
yeah, I'm just glad I found somebody that agrees with me about watermelon with Omatoni there. He chimed in late, said he'd listened back, and got somebody on my side. Yeah, thanks, 3-Bit. Now, the always fuzzy Belvedere, where can everybody find you, sir?
Well, thank you for having me on here. Always awesome to be on here with you guys. Thank you for everybody that came to view us live and those that catch the replay. For anybody that wants to hear my ramblings on gaming, just follow me on Twitter at fuzzy_Belvedere. Or you can watch me tomorrow on Shop Podcast with PTK Blam and Pong Soul if he is available. You can also find me on FSP on Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern Time with Mav, Lore Master Jasper, 3-Bit, and Psychonauts. We'll be here talking about the three platforms and everything that happens as far as gaming is concerned with those. And then you can always find me on Breakfast with Boom 10 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday mornings, and then once again here on Xbox Ultimate at 9 p.m. Eastern Time with these guys. And the basically the fun speculation family. It's awesome to be a part of. Thank you.
Man. Thanks as always, Fuzzy. Lore Master Jasper himself, the realist, the sick as hell Debbie Downer that it's still gracing us with his presence. Thanks for being here and fighting through COVID, man. But tell everybody where they can find you.
Yeah, you can check me out at Lord Jasper on Twitter, Lord Master Jasper on YouTube. Mondays, FSP, 10 o'clock. And as you all said, Fun Pop is its last episode this Wednesday. Be sure to watch that. And then Xbox Ultimate is Friday at 9. And yeah, that's about it.
Yep. Right on, man. And find Kaitlin _fancy on TikTok. Check out her YouTube channel. It's in the description below as well. When she puts her TikTok stuff over there on YouTube at times. And then we'll be playing games, streaming, so come hang out. You can see her there as well a lot of times in the chat. But yeah, we are planning on streaming more. That's going to be something that's going to have some time freed up to do. Plus also new content coming for the channel. We're working on stuff behind the scenes on trying to implement some things to have some more video type content coming up. So look out for that. I'll make some announcements kind of on what it's going to be, but it'll be like it'll be a regular segment. That'll be a weekly thing. That's kind of what I'm planning now. Not a long thing, shorter thing, but man, it's been awesome. I can't wait for Monday's FSP as well. We're going to have a blast talking there. And then the season finale of Fun Pop or series finale, I guess, of Fun Pop on Wednesday. Maybe you'll see it come back one day if we can, but it's been real, guys. The chat, you guys are amazing tonight. Awesome support, a lot of great conversations, and freaking rock. Are you okay, Psycho?
He's crying about Fun Pop.
Are you? I'm sorry, man. I love you, dude. Chat, you rock, guys. Have a good one. Take it easy. Bye.
Later.
Bye.